What's up, everybody? Welcome back to your favorite wrestling podcast. It is the Monday Night Wav, baby. And we back. We back with another episode of these raps. You know what I'm talking about. I go by Jay, the lonely one, a.k.a. the babyface, a.k.a. Mr. Podbreaker, Podson Reed, Podman Page, Powerhouse Will Pods. Scratch that. New nickname alert. Jacob Pod 2. A.K.A. Mr. Respected Jumper, A.K.A. Mr. Podwell Jacob Friedman, because I pod better than you and you know it. And we back here in the building, but I would be nothing without my illustrious co-host, Mr. Heroic. Would you please take it away from here?
He is a wild card, all right? He is the king of gorgeous, like super handsome. He is Mr. Sexy-Ass Lottery. And he is not here today because I am Chet Waters. That's right, Chester Alexander Waters III, bro. And I am here to fuck some shit up. Let's go. I changed my accent. I couldn't do it. I'm going to do it, though. All right. I'm ready. My text meant nothing to DT now.
Wait. What happened?
He texted me before the show and was like, I'm going to stay in character with no context. And I was like, what?
I started dipping into UK and I was like, nah, I'm already fucking up. So
We're too far deep.
Yeah, this nigga.
Are you going to intro yourself, nigga?
He the new Drake. Me. On this day, I can't take a pin. I refuse to lose again. Too much pain on the edge tonight. I must be Copeland now. That's it. That's all I had. You know what I'm saying? Welcome to the Monday Night Wave. It is the OTC. I remixed the Adam Copeland to the Adam Hogan theme song. You know what I'm saying? Anyway. I would say I'm an oracle. I would say I'm clairvoyant. I would say I'm a foreseer. But I'm not going to say any of that. I'm just going to let my co-host talk about how great I am at predicting things that have happened over the past, what would you say, a month, 2 months? Anything? Any takers? Any takers on how long I've been predicting? Accurately.
It's wild that this nigga want credit for being a WWE writer. It's crazy how that worked. This nigga on payroll talking about he on payroll right now. Talking about he want his props.
Listen,
thinking I predicted the last 9 months. Think you're an oracle, nigga. You getting paid? That's
which I'm pretty sure that's the plot to that Jake Gyllenhaal movie. Like, yeah, Nightcrawler. Essentially, you're creating your own crimes and documenting them.
I can't be stopped. I can't be seen. Anyway, let's do it, man. Let's go, baby. It's WrestleMania season. Shit's cooking up. Shit's in the pot. Shit's in the pan. Let's do it.
Shit need to be ready to be served.
Man.
If you keep it that way, shit need to be ready to serve. So you can smell it from the kitchen right now, nigga.
Well, you two guys are disgusting as hell because I'm not going to eat shit. I don't want it to be served to me. What is going on here? Nonsense.
Ain't nobody out here eating booty noodles. Nigga. Ain't nobody out here eating booty noodles. Right.
What are we talking about here?
Chitlins.
Eating chitlins?
Yeah, nigga, I ain't never had booty noodles. Not in my life.
I hate
Never
chitlins.
happened. Never happened.
Why is that like a rite of passage in like every black family? Like you didn't
the
have
fuck it's not.
One.
No, it ain't.
And been like, see, I was a kid. I was like 5. Like I was young. And like, oh yeah, you put some hot sauce on it. And then my grandma was like, yeah, it's pig shit. And I was done forever.
You couldn't tell by the smell, or were your people really good at cleaning them? Because, like, apparently, if you're really good at cleaning them, it doesn't stink. I don't believe it. I hate it because 1, it's gross. 2, it stinks, and then 3, it will stain your Tupperware immediately. Your shit is just orange, and it can never go back.
Never go back.
That's crazy though, man. They gave niggas the pig asshole to eat, and we found a way to turn that shit into a dish. Let's think about that.
Nigga said soul food.
I mean, it's classism at its finest, man. Like they give people the scraps, and when they find out the scraps is kind of fire, then they'll take it. Like caviar started that way, eel started that
Lobster.
way. Yeah, it's like it's like, oh well, these motherfuckers eating good. Let me taste it. It's like, okay, and then now it's only for rich people.
You niggas are creative. How did you turn shit into sugar?
And all the good shit now? All we get is
escargot.
The movie.
You think rich people were eating frog legs in the day? Nah, bro, that wasn't for
Nah, not at all.
I did have some fire ass frog legs though one time. Them shits was jumping. No pun.
At Montage?
Frog legs?
Yeah, you ain't never had frog legs? You've never. Wait, have you ever had it though?
No.
I hear it's good. I've not had it either.
I don't want to. I'm not trying to eat the WB logo. I'm cool.
Here's the
WB. Welcome back.
Only the black shows got the frog. That's crazy. All right.
First, oh man, all the black shows got the frog. Anywho, my bad, y'all. This is a wrestling podcast. All right. We don't really have a lot for news. There's just a couple injuries that were known to us throughout the week. Looks like Mark Davis is dealing with the injury. Jay White is also dealing with the injury, which got him pulled from storylines. And then the big one this week was Kevin Owens, which we'll talk about later when we get to the SmackDown segment. But Kevin Owens has also been pulled for injury. Just sending out, thoughts and prayers to those guys being affected. Hopefully they can get back in the ring pretty soon.
Apparently Orange Cassidy also.
OC, yeah, Orange Cassidy as well. We also found out that what's what I'm looking for? The birthday twin is actually doing his climb from Mount Everest. He's scheduled to do that. He has been training for it. So for people thinking that he's going to be the wild card in the Owen Hart, that does not look to be the case, and I hope it's not. But yeah, he's going to start his climb.
Wait, can you tell us? Can you tell us who we're talking about? Can you tell us?
Oh yeah. Mr. Darby Allin. Yeah. So without further ado, we can jump into Raw real quick. It starts off with a solid promo between Cena and Cody. I love Cody's approach here when he first comes out. He kind of does the 8 Mile thing where he's going to diss himself. Mm-hmm. You're going to talk about my lisp. You're going to talk about, I'm catering or I'm a nepo, whatever the case may be. Basically, he cooked himself.
I grew up in a trailer park. My mom's is a fucking bum.
Yeah.
And I got a friend named
definitely
Bob
be
who
rabbit.
shot himself with his own gun. Yeah.
I have an arm tattoo, but it's on my neck kind of thing. Just the shots. Cena, they actually both have some really good one-liners in this entire promo. There was the let me see if I got the actual words here. While I look for it, what did y'all think about this promo?
I think Cena took it easy on him. I think Cena took it easy on him. I think Cody was trying to make sure he hit as much as he could. Obviously, there's the people say I bury talent, but I don't. I am talent, and I bury mediocrity.
Fire.
Then, which was amazing to me. Then he dissected Cody. Yeah, sure, you're good. You don't have much to you. You're not authentic. You come out, niggas pop on your song, and that's it. Which, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Y'all know where my alliance is, but it is what it is. And then he called him. He said, "Congrats! I was so great. My chauffeur became the champion." You gonna call this nigga your driver?
Oof.
You wasn't even nigga, before you left, before you ran away, nigga. You wasn't even nigga. Go pump my gas and give me some chips out the gas station, and I want the hot ones.
The The shots continue because
Boop, 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 boop.
what does Cena say? He says, I made billionaires you stole from or some shit like that, or I built empires while you stole from like billionaires' kids or whatever. Like
I made empires for billionaires. All you did was steal from their kids.
yeah.
That was the line.
Also a bar.
Yeah.
Also a bar. Yeah. Then there was the Vince shot too. I forgot what Cody said, but Cody shot at Vince as well. Or fuck. I thought I wrote it down.
It was something to the effect of, they chose me, the fans, and you were chosen by somebody who's not here anymore, which is ironic. It's ironic that Cody would say that because when he left AEW, who chose Cody when he left? Who chose Cody?
Vince
and put him on a streak.
Vince re-signed him.
Okay,
but
and what?
Okay,
whoa, hold on. Let me finish first before you. What was Cody's first match back in WWE?
Seth Rollins.
Where?
Okay, but where?
Oh, WrestleMania.
So how does one get that kind of spot on their first match back?
Hottest free agent.
Would you say you had to be chosen for that?
Yeah, I guess you could say that. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
But
so,
when you fast forward and that guy's no longer in the company, and then another guy tries to take your spot for a match that he could have had at any moment, and then the fans online and in the arenas was like, nah, to the point where they was like, you know what, we're going to like swerve that and take it back. That is the crowd or the fans choosing him.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but they wouldn't have had the
opportunity.
Right, they wouldn't have had the opportunity to choose him if he wasn't first chosen and signed. By whom?
The person that we spoke about.
Okay,
but that doesn't dictate his booking afterwards or anything. I don't understand. It's not the gotcha you think it is. But
somebody had to sign him. Somebody had to come to his house.
CM Punk said the same thing about Drew. It's a good bar.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people were signed by that guy. You can use that bar for anybody at this point.
And if that is the case, how much validity and strength does that bar have if anyone can use it? Not much.
Right. So
I said all that to say, like, it was a cool shot, but it wasn't the shot that Cody thought it was.
Right. I can see that, yes.
I'm going to bring something back. Last week we talked about when do they bring up The Rock? The Rock was brought up in this promo.
Yeah.
Cody says in the words of, we just have a question. I have one question, and basically kind of rolls into which one of us sold out to The Rock. This is the first time we hear about it. First time they brought it back all together. Why now? Like, what's the purpose here? Like, it was just an Easter egg too. We didn't get an answer. John didn't answer why he sold out or anything like that. But like, why? Was it necessary? Did we need to? Is this like an Easter egg, kind of like luring us into the Mania weekend? We already saw, or not saw. I don't think we all saw, but there was clips where Cody was talking about Rock has 2 more matches. Like, and I'm tired of having the Rock match conversation on the pod. It's very similar to like rap podcasts and the Drake versus Kendrick thing. I'm tired of talking about it because we either going to get it or we're not going to get it. But they're clearly trying to like lead us on with something here. Clearly the story's not done with The Rock. We don't know what the fuck's going on. What are y'all thoughts on, like, do we need it? Do we need to hear from anything about The Rock? Can we just get Cena and Cody? Like, what do y'all feel about the jab or the little detail?
Well, I brought up the question last week just because it was just at that point it was weeks of no mentioning. So it's like, where's the continuity with the story? As far as I mean, I don't want to talk about The Rock having a match. If he does, he does. It's really up to him. But I do believe him and Travis will be at Mania. I don't see why they wouldn't be. So I think that there's definitely something that's still at play as far as Cody possibly being outnumbered. Yeah, I think that's about it.
You got anything, DT?
Nah. Nah. I will say this. I haven't got my shirt yet. The Wrestling is Real Travis Scott shirt. I just checked today. It's been pushed back. So maybe they're pushing it back till after Mania, because I was supposed to get it a week or two ago. And now it's pushed back to the end of April, beginning of May. And I bought that shirt like 15 minutes after it came out. So like a month and a half ago, almost a month ago.
Damn.
Yeah. So
Whoa.
to Hero's point, it could be obviously something that's going to
timing.
Yeah, culminate then. So.
All right. First match we get is New Day versus the returning New Catch Republic. Big strong boys back in the building. With Pete. I forgot how good Tyler Bates was.
Yeah, man.
Like, I forgot how like solid of a wrestler he actually was. And he was definitely missed. I don't know if I agree with them getting the dub on New Day, but I get it because he's
New
not
Day
coming
won.
back.
Yeah.
Wait, was it the other way around?
Yeah, New Day won.
I thought the New Day won. Yeah.
What is? Oh, my bad. I got my shit's mixed up. Okay, my fault. Okay, so with New Day winning, where are we going to continue like their push? Like,
well, it seems like, I mean, based off the last couple of weeks, it seems like they're gearing to try to give them a championship match. So
against Vikings.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know if they'll be at Mania or after Mania or
War Raiders.
Can I ask a question? Do we feel, or Raiders? My bad. Wait, yeah. Do we feel that the gas has been let off of like the New Day's like push? Do we feel that like, you know, after like the whole E thing and everything like that, they're clearly heels and they were definitely doing well.
Mm-hmm.
Do we think it was stopped on purpose? Do we think that's at a very good point? Like, how do y'all feel about the current push of like the New Day, and what do you want to see, or where do you want it to go? Because afterwards, there's no E return. I'm pretty sure we were looking for Big E to return in Rumble. At least that's where we thought was going to happen. So the New Day turn happened before Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
Where's the direction going?
The New Day turn happened before January, if I remember right.
Yeah.
Because the 10th anniversary was like, what, November, December or something like that?
I thought it was
and
like
then
December
they did
or
it.
Something like that.
Yeah, they did that's when they did the whole E thing. So the reason why the push maybe got delayed was obviously because they went to Netflix, but it was Penta. Penta got a lot of reps real fast on Raw. No, it's not. I don't think like it's not a shot towards Penta. They wanted to present him a certain way. If you think about from January 6th on, like Penta was in there a lot. Like we didn't see Braun Breaker that much. We complained about not seeing a couple of people a lot, and I think it's because they were trying to build the new people that they had. You had the Roman and the Tribal Chief thing going. Anyway, I think there's nothing wrong with it currently, but they need to add like some fuel to the fire, because after that heel turn and the E shit, New Day was as hot as of heels as probably anybody in wrestling at that point. And then they brought in some new signees and all that stuff, but they didn't have music for like a month. It took them like a month to get some music. They weren't wrestling. They had to be put against LWO, and then Dragon Lee had to come back. So like they had a bunch of things, but they keep having these like face-offs or these moments with the War Raiders. So I think as long as they end up getting the belts off the War Raiders by cheating, then they'll be fine.
So you want them to take the titles? You want New Day to be the tag team champions on Raw?
Yeah, it doesn't. If you look at the tag teams, there's no tag team to me on Raw that is more experienced than the New Day.
Yeah,
in terms of teamwork, etc. So, and the War Raiders have had it. They had a couple of cool vignettes. We got the emotional thing. Yeah, but it's time for the belts to move again.
And the War Raiders are nice. Like, they're really mad talented. They're a really good tag team. You think it's just like a lack of like communication, or not communication, but like connection with like the fans and whatnot? Like, what do you think is?
They can't get a connection because it's very similar to what you're saying with your proposed question with the New Day, and it's because they're not on TV that much. And I think it's because of their injuries, which makes sense. But it's also one of those things. Then, like what DT said, we should probably get those titles off of them if they're not going to work on a consistent basis. Like, I don't even remember when their last match was. And also with it, where it's like, for people who have commercials with Netflix, we miss so much other random backstage stuff.
Yep.
So it's like, I'm assuming New Day has a segment every week, but I don't see it unless it pops up on Twitter, like someone posts the clip. So for people like, so, or at least from my POV, like having it does feel like, I don't want to say stop and go, but it does feel like they took their foot off the pedal a little bit, because I'm personally not seeing them that much, but also I have commercials and shit. And also I think what DT said with like trying to give Penta some burn, because again, like you said, there's multiple people where it's like, where's Braun at? And then it took like a month, and then Braun is in like 2 main events, you know. So it's kind of them just rotating their roster and giving their roster some more screen time. But yeah, and also again, like I'm assuming they're on TV every week, but you know, seeing commercials, I don't see that shit. So
yeah, so I will say that during the commercial breaks, they do throw New Day programs up. They're in the crowd, they're doing some kind of like promo on somebody, or just the stadium or arena or whatnot. But like you said, if you see the commercial, you don't see that. So your natural instinct is that New Day's not on TV. But they have been, featured there. Yeah, I would agree that I think the gas was let off a little bit. Because you, like DT said, you are right. Like, they were hot, after the Big E shit, like they shit was cooking, and that was a great fucking segment as well. But I also think like, ultimately we're all anticipating like something to happen. Like, I think we talked about during that episode is that we all expected like, oh, Big E to pop up at Rumble and whatnot, and that's where it's going to be Big E and versus whoever at Mania, and like E's probably nowhere near ready to go. And that's just us being fans and getting like really like excited about it and whatnot. So you kind of have to let off the gas a little bit to kind of lower people's anticipation, or is that the word? Expectation. My bad.
Yeah,
expectation of E showing up. Getting out of that, we got Jimmy versus Gunther. Big Jim versus Gunther in a 1v1 match. And that man Gunther was toying with him. Playing with his food. Playing with his goddamn food.
It went from the slap heard around the world to the ass beating that everybody saw.
What?
Yeah.
Bro, he had so many fake 2 counts. He pulled him up. I'm not done with him.
Oh my god!
Like, your boy done. I get 1 power bomb. He ready to go. Yeah, he's playing with him. And from there we get the beatdown of the century. Beat the living breaks off of Jimmy. Actually left. Came back.
Well, yeah,
beat the brakes off.
Yeah, because he started choking him out, and then Jay comes out for the save. We get some altercation with there. Then Gunther leaves. We get a commercial break. Come back from the break. Jay's trying to walk Jimmy back, and then Gunther comes out of nowhere and attacks. Very similar to like when New Day came back and attacked LWO like 4 times randomly. But security guards try to stop. Gunther's like, F that. He powerbombs one of the security guards on the on the steel steps.
Yes.
Steals his zip tie. He's still there?
I was just saying, last I heard, he was still there. Still in the arena.
Yeah. He steals some zip ties Jay to the rope, and then like you said, beats the living hell out of Jimmy. Hits him with the belt. Jimmy slides out the ring. Does a little get a little juice on him. Comes back. He's bloody as hell, and then you just see Gunther he does a small little sample of his taste of his blood. I don't know, Hangman shit, but just ugh, and then just rubs his blood on him, beats the hell out of him. Blood. Yeah, he licked his finger and he's like, ugh, ugh, and he instantly spit. But yeah, it was pause. It was very emotional. It's pretty much what we have an oracle, but I feel like we're all pretty good at our predictions as a trio. But we brought it up last week, and it really delivered. Like, Jay in these particular moments really delivers, and I want to say we also talked about it last week, where it was like is it going to be like similar to Hell in a Cell with Roman when Jimmy came back and whatnot, and it was very much on that level. I would say even more, just because there's blood and everyone loves blood. So I would say it's even more, but yeah, Jay really shines in those moments where he's in distress and just really wants to help his brother, but he's in an opportunity or in a situation to where he can't help his brother, and you feel those emotions. Like, he's really good at portraying those emotions. Gunther even calls him pussy during the attack, which was great. He called him, I was like, Gunther is all one, bro. And Jay, I think you even hear him mouth, I'm a fucking kill you or something like that. But it's speaking of having pedals on the gas. According to the internet, this feud has not been that great, or the build for this feud hasn't been that great. I feel like this was definitely the next step to give us the more serious Jay, so he's not yeeting all the time or whatever people like to complain about. It was a good segment, though. Absolutely.
He also, Jay stopped calling Jimmy. He was calling him John. So the same way that when Roman was beating the shit out of Jay, and Jimmy jumped in the ring and was like, this is Josh. This is Joshua. Whatever you going through, we can figure it out. We family. This is Josh. They then use that same kind of callback. And instead of calling Jimmy, he was calling Jimmy John by his actual government name. So, yeah.
Which they did with Roman also. I remember times where they called Roman Joe. Oh, we're a little
Joe, yeah.
So the catalyst for Crash Out Jey Uso is Jimmy. That's his trigger. You injure his brother, you get main event Crash Out Jey Uso, which is what we all been wanting. That's what I want. I want to see that guy.
Yeah,
that's the guy that was like, he has no fucks. He doesn't give a fuck. So seemingly, we're going to get that. I expect next week's promo to be some shit. I expect Crash Out Jey Uso to show up on Raw. We get
you have my brother's blood on your
tag team.
I don't even think if I'm booking it and writing it, Jay's not even gonna talk. It's gonna be Gunther walking down the hall or in the middle of a backstage interview gloating about what he did to Jimmy, and Jay gonna come out of fucking nowhere and smack him in the back of the head with a chair and just start beating him with the chair. Whenever Jay has a chair, that's Crash Out. That's Crash Out, Jey Uso. So for me, that would be the callback. Gunther's in the hallway popping shit to Kathy Kelly or whomever. Yeah, you see what I did to Jimmy? He's nothing. His brother's nothing. Da da da. They family or nothing. I'm the heavyweight champion. Blah blah. And then out of nowhere, bam, chair shot.
Super kick.
and just not a kick, a chair, like hit like a chair in the back, either in the back or the head or the back of the head or whatever, and camera's gonna pan out and Jay is beating the shit out of Gunther with a chair, and the crowd is gonna explode for that. He'll throw the chair down and walk away. That would be how I would write it, because now he has a justification for that level of violence that doesn't take him away from being a babyface, but he gets to meet like that level of violence and up the ante for
that intensity.
Yeah. So that would be how I would write it if I was writing it.
Yo, quick
WWE.
breaking news.
What happened?
Bishop Dyer, FKA Baron Corbin, he showed up at MLW and he's aligned with Dijak, and they beat up Matt Riddle.
Yes! Whoop Matt Riddle's ass. No.
Shout out to Corb and Dijak. That's actually really, like, as a team, they're teamed up.
They aligned.
That's a solid team, bro.
Yeah,
Dijak and Corb.
MLW has a show right now. It's called MLW Riot. It looked like it started an hour ago. It's free.
That's a solid little team.
Yeah, you can stream it. It's free right now. I mean, by the time you listen to this, it'll be done. But yeah,
yeah, that's hard.
We got a tag. We got Braun and Penta versus Finn and Dom. This is the first time we've seen Penta take a pin. He gets accidentally speared by Braun in the match, and then he takes the pin here by Finn. Something about this feels like this is going to be the multi-man at Mania. I feel like this is going to be the 4-way. And if it is the 4-way, I think Dom wins.
He should win. Dom should win.
I think Dominic Mysterio taking the belt that Finn has been fiending over would be god tier, like, writing. Like, that's... I would highly look forward to seeing Dom as IC champ.
Who takes the pin? Because you're not going to have Dom pin Finn.
Nigga, you know who's taking the pin.
Braun Breaker?
Man who's been taking the pin all year, the past 3 years.
Braun Breaker?
He's pinning Finn.
Braun Breaker is pinning Finn.
No, Dom.
No. Dom is pinning Finn.
And the way I think it happens is by accident.
Now that would be some shit.
Like, he accidentally gets super kicked or accidentally gets speared onto Finn, and then they count it, and then the shenanigans just start from there.
Yeah. I think you have that happen. I think Dom gets the pin on Finn. He gets the belt. You could probably have something happen between Braun and Penta to where you probably get that match again. Because their first match ended with DQ, right? Like, there was no winner there. So there's still something there you can do. Yeah. So I think that, like, that would be the best case scenario.
Okay. I don't like Hero's idea. It's right. It's the right one. I don't like it.
Because it doesn't make Dom look, like, credible?
No. That's fine. That's fine.
Okay.
Dom's character doesn't need to look credible right now.
Okay.
I don't like it because Finn is taking the pin again. That's why I don't like it. That's why I said, is there a way that Braun Breaker takes the pin?
No. You know who's taking the pin.
Or Finn
Balor is taking that.
Or Finn wins and he accidentally pins Dom, and that just it just further plants Liv planting stuff in Dom's ear.
Yeah,
they could do it that way too.
If that's the way to get Finn to be babyface, I'd take a babyface Finn back. I think Finn's in his bag when he is the babyface.
I like heel Finn. He just needs to win. That's it. He needs to stop taking L's. I see what you did there.
I just like Finn.
What?
Because because you said you like babyface Finn. I said I like heel Finn. He was like, I just like Finn. So like,
yeah, we'll see. But I definitely think that's gonna be like the multi-man. Looks like the show wraps up with Rhea, Io, and Bianca as special guest referee. What was the reason, in the words of Cardi B? What was the reason here? If this was going to be the outcome, why not just have the contract be official, right? Because we're going to get the triple threat. That's already happening. But just at that point, we didn't need the special guest referee if Bianca was going to call the match anyway.
Well, she called the match because she got hit twice. She could have called the match the first time when Rhea just slapped her blatantly, but after that she got hit, I want to say 2 more times. And the reason they went through this convoluted route is because everyone was complaining. I'm like, that's not a legal contract. Like, make it make sense, So it's like, all right, so we're gonna give you a convoluted route so that it will make sense for this triple threat. Other than because they could have just did like, all right, I signed it, it's a legal document, you guys watch me do it. But we like the smart fan, quote unquote, the smart fan knows like, no, that's not how fucking documents work. You can't just steal my stuff. Even though John Cena did that to Finn, but then again, Vince McMahon was running the show at the time. But yeah, that's why I think that's why they did it this way. And also it's like and DT brought this to light last week as well. Mania is like 2 weeks later than it usually is, which is why like they're taking so long to give us certain matches and certain builds. They already announced the men's triple threat, so they were, they're letting some stuff cook. Like, we're probably going to get a couple more matches, which when we get to talk about on SmackDown, we get another match that I'm very excited for. But yeah, I think that's why they went through the convoluted route. It's just to not be like, I signed a document. Well,
we're going to get to that too. And not to take anything from the match. The match was fire. They was grabbing. Mm-hmm. The Super Samoan drop in here. The Riptide was dope. Like, I was definitely watching all the dramatics of it. Rhea's very frustrated. She wasn't getting what she wanted and whatnot. Kind of goes into a hero's bag of, Karen Ripley coming out because, shit's just not going her way. I
think that was a DT moniker. But she is a brat. Oh. Brat girl summer.
There, my bad. Yeah. Brat girl summer. Overall, though, match was fire, even though we know where the fuck this is going. Do we have any early predictions? Who's winning this match?
It better not be Rhea, goddammit. Because if that is the fucking case, then they should have just not even had let Io Sky in the match in the fucking first place. Like, and I like Rhea Ripley. I do. Mm-hmm. I like Mommy. Everybody likes Mommy. But Mommy is like Chun-Li in fucking Street Fighter 2. She's OP. Like, and if you're gonna give her the belt, to have her lose the belt to get the belt back, that would make her a 3-time women's world heavyweight champion. Which that's not necessarily the issue. The issue is the means to an end. Like, why even go through the whole rigmarole with adding Io in if you was just gonna get the belt back on Rhea? Should have just kept the belt. I know you want to add people in and
yeah,
like, but bruh. All right, and then what it makes me think is, and I'm gonna try not to go on a tangent. What it makes me think is you want to be able to preserve Bianca's WrestleMania record, which we already know she's not undefeated, but then it's like, I'm not gonna use the term bury, but are you kicking Io and having her take the pin just because out of the 3, who's gonna take that pin? Which then that makes me not even want to watch the match. That makes me not even want to watch it. So then in that case, you should have literally just did Rhea and Bianca, and I'm done.
I got Io winning, and I think Rhea takes the pin.
I'm very tied because I don't want Bianca to lose the streak, but also, and they have announced that I mean, I don't know how official the announcement was, but they have announced that there's going to be another draft sometime after Mania. So it's like, if Bianca wins, then she has to go to Raw, and her husband is SmackDown Tag Team Champion. So that's kind of mixes things up a little bit. But then again, Ludwig is on Raw and Tiffany's on SmackDown. So
and they could just switch those two.
Yeah, well, yeah, I don't know if they're going to do the whole handing over titles thing that like Charlotte and Becky did and New Day and yeah, I don't know. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay, no. You mean just trade shows, like just trade champions?
Yeah.
Right. That's plausible. That's plausible. Yeah. But so I'm kind of tied. Like, I really want Bianca to keep that streak, but also I love Io. I mean, I love all 3 of these women. I will say this though. I think it's very similar to the men's triple threat. I think Rhea is in the Roman place to me. She should be the last person to win this triple threat. And I agree with you. I think Rhea should be the one to be pinned because she's the one that's going through all these character changes right now, to where she was dominant mommy to now she's like being a brat and sort of entitled and like untrustworthy. Like, it makes more sense for her to take this loss character wise, in my opinion. As in taking the pin, I mean.
Okay. We're gonna take a quick little break. When we get back, we're gonna jump into Dynamite, and then we're gonna get into SmackDown. Unless
wait. You didn't say how. Or wait, did we say how the match really ended? Like how it legitimately ended?
Oh, she just was like, "Fuck all that, I'm done," and was like, "Nope, ring the bell." Yeah.
Oh, maybe you did. I don't know.
Yeah, like she got attacked twice, and then she,
it was a DQ, and then
rung the bell,
and then Rhea stood tall again. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, but we'll be right back, and we'll come back. We'll talk about Dynamite. We're going to talk about AEW. DT has to get some shit off his chest.
Listen. I have one question for the both of y'all. What the fuck was that for the first 12, 15 minutes? What the fuck was that? I'm going to tell you what it was. It was 4 people. One who is loved by everybody. Shout out to Willow. She's catching no shade in this match from me. But Marina Trench, the Neo King, and the nigga who can't drive straight, that shit was ass. I'm sorry. It looked like these niggas didn't talk about the match at all. I found out on happenstance that it was a tornado tag. They get the fire entrance by Swerve, you know what I'm saying? Everybody doing a little non-meanery, you know what I'm saying? Willow, she ain't really got the, she was a little offbeat, but it's cool. We get down, this nigga Swerve get to the ring and do this. He put his hands up and do this. Like, come on, come at me. That's when I found out. As soon as I heard Taz or whoever the fuck, it's a tornado tag. Okay, cool. You just explained that to me in the moment. I didn't know what the match was beforehand. Whatever. They start fighting. We don't get no split screen. So this shit is going back and forth between Willow and Marina Trench, and then to the Neo King and the nigga can't drive straight.
Why are you calling her Marina Trench? What's the? I don't understand the joke.
It's you gonna stop me to tell now we middle of the pod. You gonna stop me?
This is my first time hearing you say it. All right, continue.
It's a trench is like it's a chasm.
Oh, I know what an actual trench. I know what an actual. Okay, fine. Okay, I get it. So, all right.
God damn.
How does this refer to Marina?
Well, she sucks.
Because I couldn't. Okay, I wasn't even gonna say that, but I wasn't gonna say that
respectfully.
She is AEW. She's the AEW Ronda Rousey. I think that if they had a match, both of them would just roll around the ring and miss spots. Now, enough of that. Tell me I'm wrong. That's why you can't say that.
Ronda's better.
Is she though?
Yes. I can give some more context. Marina was in the PC for like 7 years, and she has not gotten better. There's a reason why this is her first match since she's joined the Death Riders. There's a reason why they made this match a tornado tag, and it's so that two people that she can't be exposed in the ring by herself. Continue. DC.
She was exposed. She was exposed on multiple spots, and I'll get to one of them that pissed me off. Listen,
is it the one that almost killed Willow?
Almost. I'm pretty sure Willow is dead.
I gotta watch this match. I'm so mad I missed this match.
No. I think you as an AEW fan are happy that you missed it, because I think it would take some of that glimmer of hope out of your eye if you watch this match. This shit was so bad. This was almost as bad as whatever match it was. And I seen the clip on Twitter where Buddy missed the spot, so he kept running back and forth between the ropes because he missed. I'm gonna send you the clip.
Actually, Buddy, or you just call him? Anyway, continue.
I'm calling him Buddy.
Okay,
I'm calling him Buddy. That's not the dude's name.
Okay,
continue.
All right. Anyway, Swerve and Mox are throwing these light ass fake punches on the barricade, and you could tell they didn't talk about what was supposed to happen because Mox was under the impression he was supposed to interrupt and counter the attack. Swerve was under the impression he was not supposed to interrupt. They get confused. Mox raises his hand like he about to ask a question, and then just says "fuck it" and lets Swerve kick him in the face. Cool. You flip over to Willow and Marina, and she power bombs her. She's slamming her on the floor. Cool, looking completely devastated. The way they tried to make Marina look like she was tough before she ever fought, they should just never do that again. She should continue to carry a briefcase. Matter of fact, wherever the briefcase goes, Marina should just be with that group. That's how I feel. You go around.
God damn.
There was like 4 bumps where it looked like Mox was not trying to take the bump, but he knew it was part of the match, so he like kind of fell. He like kind of fell on his back, or kind of like got hit the head and like stumbled.
Yeah, no, he no sells a lot.
But if they got spiked in the back, I'm not really about to fall.
That was a personal choice.
Don't do the match.
No, for sure. No, I'm not saying
you chose to do that.
Absolutely.
Listen, what you're doing in this match is you are damaging the credibility of 3 people in the ring. I'm not even going to talk about Homegirl, because if you say she's been in the PC for 9 years and that is the best that she got, she needs to find another career, or she should be a manager and not be in the ring.
Dog, it's bad.
There comes a point. There comes a point where Willow and Marina are they're on the side of the ring, and it was so bad I forgot the damn terminology. They're on the apron. They're on the apron of the ring, and Willow is supposed to big boot her on the ring. This bitch ducks. She was supposed to duck, but then it looks like she realized she wasn't strong enough to pick Willow up. Tries to grab Willow's leg and lift her. She cannot lift her. So now Willow has to use the rope to propel herself
jump up.
Yes. So Marina can get under Willow. So then Marina can then throw Willow through the table. And it was so sloppy. It was so bad.
It was actually really scary. It was really
She
scary.
almost died.
And that's like the 3rd time Willow, maybe 4th time Willow's almost died in this company doing a similar spot. And it's like, obviously there's I'm sorry to cut you off, but
no,
you good. There's some moves that you can't practice. Like when JD did the moonsault into an RKO off the cage, you can't practice that. You know, there's some spots you just can't practice. You got to do it. You first take Drake or whatever, first take Jay. But there's some spots you can practice. You can practice if you can powerbomb this woman. You should have been able to practice that. Like, you didn't have to actually put her through a table. There's a crash pad mat. Just see if you could pick her up. She literally, like, Willow could have been seriously fucking injured.
Willow needs to not wrestle with her ever again. If I'm Willow, I'm saying, hey, I'll wrestle with anybody in the company but her. Y'all niggas is not finna kill me. Then there was a point in the match where there was a point in the match where Moxley has Swerve in a submission, and the girls are supposed to break up the submission with a power bomb. That was sloppy as fuck. It was so bad. In fact, Marina was supposed to carry Willow over to the submission spot and power bomb her on top of Mox, on top of Swerve to break the submission to save Swerve from tapping out. Barely hits the nigga. Almost fucks all four of them up. The only saving grace about this entire match was Swerve is on the top turnbuckle. Marina gets up there, starts doing the freaky ass back scratches. So of course John Mox is like, ooh, my favorite thing. He runs up there. Both of these niggas is scratching this nigga back up all freaky. Willow stumbles over there and goes up under all four of them. Does a super power bomb off of the top turnbuckle. That one spot pretty much saved the whole match. From that point on, the match was better. But the first half of the match was some of the worst wrestling I have ever seen. And I just need you to know that.
I have to
that's it.
I have to disagree that it got better because, I mean, the way it ends. Okay, because there's like the way it ends.
I gotta talk about the ending too.
Okay, Willow puts Moxley through a table, and you missed that because the camera completely did not cut through it. You hear it, but you completely miss it because they have bad camera cuts. Then, Swerve does something and Willow pins Marina. Moxley drunk.
Oh, did he
what?
Did he Swerve kick her? I saw the clip. He ends up kicking her in the head.
Yeah, she takes a kick. She takes a kick for Moxley. She takes the bullet for Moxley. Moxley gets put through a table by Willow. You missed that camera cut. Willow comes back in essentially, does her power bomb, or somehow she pins Marina. The girls pin the girl so that you don't get a Swerve pin over Moxley because Moxley's on some dope stuff as well. The part, and I'm gonna stop right when the big spot happens, but the part that is just so crazy is that Willow puts Moxley through the thing and then pins. We're talking like a 30-second differential right now. Moxley instantly gets back up from the table spot, walks
out of the table spot.
Yeah, out of the he instantly gets back up essentially, walks into the ring, like Willow's music is playing, Swerve is on top turnbuckle, fucking doing his taunts or whatever. And Moxley's doing his he's walking around drunk, like he's walking around like drunken master.
He accidentally bumps into Willow while looking at Swerve on the top turnbuckle. Turns around and DDTs her. Now, here is my problem. They effectively try to make the DDT the tombstone in WWE. He does a regular double hook DDT.
Well, that's his finisher.
Yeah, that is his finisher.
That's his finisher.
Cool. I will take that now knowing it. But it doesn't change the fact that they still tried to sell it like he ended Willow's life after she almost died fucking with Marina.
Sorry, well that's where the intergender comes into. That's why they're trying to make it's like when Baron. I mean, you weren't watching at the time per se, but it's like when Baron Corbin gave Becky Lynch the end of days.
And she sold that like a champ too.
Well, it's Becky fucking Lynch. I mean, it's the man.
But Willow just dies flat. Doesn't move. You cut. Something else happens in the show. You come back, And Swerve was like, he tried to kill her, and I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do tonight, and I'm gonna get my hands on him, and he gonna pay.
Yeah,
and he's saying this he's saying this to Renee, who is his wife. Which no one in the show.
And he acknowledges that at the end of the show too.
Yeah,
it's weird. Like
I was
watching that same promo. I was waiting for him to be like, "I'm going after your husband." And he doesn't say it, but the next time he meets up with Renee, he says, "I'm looking for your husband." So like this whole like kayfabe, like we know but we don't know thing.
Yeah, and then and they switch because Coke did the same. Everyone who's beefing with Mox does the same thing. It's like
same thing.
It's like
at that point, why didn't
you're beefing with Mox and then like you're interviewing me? It's like if I again like
about this.
Oh, I'm not
about to swerve kick Renee. Like,
no, but
no,
I would,
you should.
In kayfabe and be like, control your mans. Like that's all you gotta say. Like, what is your role here at this point? Like, if this is kayfabe and I was a babyface wrestler in that company, I'm not doing any interviews with Renee. I don't trust you. What the fuck are you doing to help stop your husband? You ain't doing nothing.
That is not her job. She's not part of the Death Riders. She is the interviewer.
He is running a dictatorship, beating people up, pouring bleach in people's mouths, and you expect me to answer your regular questions about how I feel about today's match? Bitch, what is your agenda? No, I would have to.
This is why he's beefing with Swerve and not Hangman, because Hangman would have did something to Renee. Hangman would have,
somebody should, and I don't mean this in a hateful, spiteful way. But if you're going to turn up if all of Mox's matches are ending the same, they start the same, they end the same, like, how do you get more out of this nigga, bro? Like, somebody should. In fact, I like the idea of kicking Renee under the chin.
My only thing with that,
holding her head up and be like, yeah, Mox, come find me. And then somebody drag her off. And then all you see is her feet just like this.
My only concern with that is that might turn Moxley face because Renee is really loved.
That's good.
We don't want Moxley's not a face. He doesn't want to be a face right now. He wants to be the chief. He wants it doesn't matter what you want.
I thought about it. Why do you think his match went first? No one gives a fuck.
His match?
No. People were looking forward to that mixed tag. They wanted that one to be a good one. I did see that.
The match went first so that people actually watched it. As far as and it's not even me trying to be.
And to be fair, it probably should have went last because what went last.
Well, no, because if it went last, then you can't get the spot that you get later, which is him being put through. God, Jesus, it's a mud show.
Okay, we'll get to that.
Wait, you didn't see any of this match at all?
I didn't see any of that first match. I saw the rest of the show though.
We should stop recording and you should watch the
we don't have time. I don't want to waste another 15 minutes. No. I mean, granted, I could probably play a video. That could give me like 2 matches in Rivals, maybe. But I don't think we should do that.
I did see the clip of like the powerbomb. As y'all was talking, I looked at the clip of the powerbomb from Marina to Willow, and that was bad. It didn't look good at all. And
if you liked that was just a taste. That was just a little bitty morsel of the rest of the match, my nigga.
I'm going through comments, and people are like, "Yo, if Marina ever put her hands on Willow again, we gonna fuck you up," kind of thing. Like, people are upset that like she's not looking good. Marina has been what Hero just said as far as like just not trained well. Like, it's not just
she's been trained, dog. She was in the PC for like years. And then she's been in AEW for like 3 or 4. So it's like,
and they put her in ROH. She was in ROH, working in ROH too. I think she was here in Portland
was she working or just collecting the check?
No, actually stuck in ROH. Like, she was working in ROH. Like, we didn't see Marina until this year because she was in ROH.
How did she get out?
She was on AEW TV for a minute before she went to ROH.
Put her back. How did she get out? Put her back.
Yeah, how do you escape the Shadow Realm? It took Athena like 600 days.
Put her back. Put her back.
Look, man. when she showed up inside of Death Riders, I was like, where did Marina come from? I was like, okay, cool. They got like Marina here, but I didn't know it was that bad.
She's supposed to be the China, but she isn't good. And like, I'm not trying to be rude. I've watched her in NXT. I've watched her in AEW. I've seen her wrestle since like 2017. She is not good. And her husband is fucking Roderick Strong. Like,
and
one
of the best.
One of the best.
Wait.
Her husband is the Messiah, the backbreaker, and it's like, you take his shtick, break some backs, and do a couple arm bars because you're ex MMA, and then call it like. I don't know. I don't know.
He's not a good husband then, because my wife couldn't go out there.
Hey, we can't say like, hey, come on now. Hey, relax. Relevance, Your Honor. Relevance.
I'll tell you the relevance. You're supposed to be representing the family. You're supposed to be representing the name.
Jesus
you can't go out there like
Christ.
that. Bro.
Sometimes
you can't go out there like that.
Sometimes you gotta let
you can't be talking about somebody's wife, man. There's rules to the shit. Context.
The rule is if it's on television, I can talk about it. That's the rule.
Yeah.
You talking about their personal life.
You just said
I said he shouldn't be letting her go out there like that. Fix it.
Relevance, Your Honor. Anywho,
go to the dungeon.
We gonna move on.
If the dungeon can't fix you, then you should not be wrestling.
You said go to the dungeon.
Go to the dungeon.
The
hard dungeon. Natalie.
B-Fab looking nice. She getting better every week.
Man, B-Fab and Dawkins looking straight. I hear you. We got Penelope versus Toni Storm, which is a solid match, just prepping for Megan Bain and whatnot. I really want to talk about this MJF promo though.
Yeah, let's hop to it.
I want to talk about the Hurt Syndicate. I want to talk about MJF.
We hurt people.
We get MJF coming out there because he
wait. Sorry, real quick, because when I was listening to last week's episode, I didn't finish my point because I went into one of my dumbass tangents. When I said I changed my mind, I like the "We Hurt People" chant now. I think it is still very weird. To me, it's still very weird to scream. I think it's very weird to yell. But if next time I go to an AEW show and like that's happening, I'm yelling, "We hurt people." I like it now. I changed my mind. I still think it's awkward though. I just wanted to say that because I did not get my point across last week because I was being a dumbass. So sorry.
It sounds like a hypnotized chant. It sounds like a seance. The way that they do it. It don't sound like they part of the song. Like it sounds like
it sounds like a seance.
It's very awkward, but like sometimes it does hit. Like we hurt people. We hurt people. Like
no, you're putting too much rhythm on it. They don't even do it like that.
Yeah,
Every time I heard it.
Well, that's how I like it because it's in my own head. Yeah. Anyway, sorry, Jay.
We hurt people. We hurt people.
It is very low monotone, very cultish. He's not wrong.
People. Yeah, it's like if I heard that walking down the street, I'm gonna be like, "What the fuck is that?"
Oh, absolutely. And that was my first take when I first brought it up. I was like, "This is really weird." Like, I think it's really weird for a bunch of people to yell it, mostly white at those shows.
White people, yeah.
Mostly.
It wasn't like that in Atlanta. When they went to Atlanta, it was not like that at all. It was way better.
And they probably was on beat too.
It was in Atlanta.
Can you imagine seeing a group of white people walking down the street and they're all saying it the same? We hurt people. We hurt people. You're walking down the street and it's a mob of white people walking the opposite direction towards you. What is your
First off,
what
I
you
will
gonna
be
do?
nowhere near Maine, so it would not happen.
You should have said Charlottesville.
With tiki torches? Hey,
very fine people. Very fine people.
A lot of good people on both sides. Both sides. A lot of good people. A lot of good people, both sides. I'm just saying, not everyone is racist. There's some fine people on both sides.
Oh my god!
I did the impressions. Bro. Let's go. Let's go. I love it.
Fuck.
Fine group. Fine group of people. Fine Very fine people. Very fine people.
Very nice.
They all believe.
You gotta do the hands.
Fuck,
We hurt people. Together, I say it all at one time. We hurt people. We hurt people. All right, I'm done.
Okay. All right. This nigga's on one today. I like it though. MJF tells Bobby that him joining the Hurt Syndicate is good for business. He tells him that like you may not want MJF, but y'all need MJF. But Lashley comes out and is like, I don't trust you, I don't like you, and you got to prove that I can trust you. And MJF looking like proof. All right, I'll give you some proof. So basically, it looks like MJF got to be jumped in, or he got to fight his way in.
He's probably going to help them retain during Dynasty. That would be the easiest.
Against Brian Keith and Big Bill, that should be easy work for fucking.
Right, but they want Big Bill to look good. Brian Keith, I don't know. Based off of the last week's the way the Hurt Syndicate treats Brian Keith, he ain't shit to them. but Big Bill's still a threat. Okay, so...
he said, "Put your bitch on a leash,
bro." Shit, Charlotte took lessons from MVP, and then Tiffany turned that shit around. But we'll get into that later.
Yeah,
it backfired.
So you still on the board? You still on the train of like MJF is going to join Hurt?
I think he should, bro. I think okay. So I'm gonna keep it a buck because obviously you guys know how I feel about AEW from time to time. Here's my context. What's going on with Swerve and Hangman? Even though I said it is going to have me walk into traffic, that will happen at some point. That storyline, and then what's going on with MJF and the Hurt Syndicate? That's what we call storylines in wrestling. Like these are actual stories in the show, and they're actually good and very like intriguing. Like I want to watch more because I want to know what's going to happen with all these people and all these characters. And yes, I still fully believe MJF should join. Like this is the best way. Like you can get the title back on them, and you can finally have Bobby turn. You could there's so many routes that they can go, especially if they do it correctly. Which I already said a bunch of this last week. But yeah, there's a lot of routes that they can go. To answer your question, I still fully believe this is the route they should go. It would be entertaining. Like we literally saw. I mean, I don't know if you guys DT wasn't watching at the time. I don't know about you, Jay, but like we saw MJF do a whole musical of Jericho. Like he has not only. I mean, he's just as talented as like a Harley Cameron because like he can sing, he can act, he obviously can wrestle. Like he's in multiple movie projects coming up and whatnot. This is a good chance to revamp him and make him back into a legitimate like babyface if that's the route. I mean, to me that is the route because it makes more sense for the Hurt Syndicate to portray him as opposed to him betraying the Hurt Syndicate. So yeah. That's the answer to my question. Absolutely do this.
I think the bigger story is that, like you said, like it would turn him into a babyface, right? But I think based off what MJF has been telling us is that he can't trust anybody based off what happened between him and Cole, right? And I think that's also the story with MJF is that MJF gets in MJF's way. It's not going to be Bobby's fault that MJF didn't get the title. It's going to be MJF like being too greedy or too overzealous with something, and he's going to end up fucking himself over. Because he doesn't want to trust anybody. At least that's what they've been telling us so far. Especially with the angles of like, why do you love him and not me and XYZ? Like, and he doesn't see that he's already loved by the fans.
Right,
like we've talked about, multiple times.
Well, and to go off of that is just, it's like, again, like to me, it's easy booking to where even if like MJF doesn't even have to do anything like slimy or shisty, like he could accidentally not help in the right way, and then they lose their titles, and eventually Bobby's like, why am I even in the tag in the first place? I'm fucking Bobby Lashley. I'm signed to AEW. I should be chasing after this. That is the easiest way to re-babyface MJF and give him like a genuine like babyface run. Like, and he's still like, and you can still do the thing where he doesn't trust them, like, because at the end of the day, it's all business. Like when he went to MVP, he's like, he literally said, like, I have a hard time trusting people, but you're not here to make friends. You're here to do business, and I want to be in the business of hurting people because I like how you do business. So, and then like I did, like after the turn, all MVP has to say is like, bruh, this was business, and what's best for business is Bobby getting that title that you got. So we got to take that Triple B off your partner.
Swerve had issues with Bobby. That was his loss. Was Maximum Carnage, I believe, was Bobby. MJF could use Bobby to get to Swerve. Therefore, it makes it easier for him to take out, Bobby to take out Swerve. MJF gets the belt, and that's how you can kind of get that feud between MJF and Bobby.
Wait, you're assuming Swerve is going to win this title?
Yeah, that's funny. Oh, you funny.
I am.
All right, cool.
Yeah. You know how this match. Hey, you know how this match ends.
If it ends anyway without Swerve, if Swerve doesn't win, it better end with like Hangman. It has to like be something that Hangman does. That's the only way I'll take it because they still have a story they got to finish.
Yeah, but he basically just apologized to Hangman.
No, he didn't. He didn't apologize. He admitted accountability, something that another person has not done yet.
That's it.
We can talk about
no, he did the same. He did the same thing.
No, Roman does not admit accountability. He has not apologized.
Bro, it's the same thing.
It is not the same thing. The fact that Swerve said "I know" before Roman could actually apologize to Jimmy or Jay. That's a whole.
It's crazy.
That's something we got to talk about off the pod, maybe.
Yeah, that's crazy. We'll get into that. We'll get into that.
Listen, y'all got Roman fucked up.
Hey, I love my trouble chief. I do.
You goddamn right.
We got Blake Christian, Lee Johnson, Kevin Knight, Will Ospreay. Just this one's really quick. I don't really have to go into detail on this one. I do like the new signing, Kevin Knight. This is my first time seeing him wrestle. Dude looks really solid. Super athletic kid. Love it. From here, Brody versus Lance Archer, fire match, probably the best match on the show. Should have main evented over Copeland and Claudio. What, DT?
Nothing. I was thinking about a way to call him like she and Damian Priest or something, but it's all good.
Yeah,
it looked like Priest. It looked like low budget Priest.
Who, Lance Archer?
It just if that's his name.
Priest?
He had the braids. His shit was in the two straight backs, big ass tattoo on his back, rocker look. It looked like Damian Priest, but just not Damian Priest.
Okay.
All he
post match. This is where shit kind of heats up a little bit. We see that Swerve is looking for Mox. What you got, Hero?
The injury list. Brian Cage is part of that injury list, which is why we're getting,
that's true.
Which is why we're getting the Learning Tree versus the Hurt Syndicate, because it was supposed to be Lance Archer and Brian Cage versus the Hurt Syndicate. So that's why we're getting this whole change. I just remember that. Continue.
Yeah. Post match, Swerve's looking for Mox after he injured Willow. He's going, crazy, whatnot. And then we see Hangman pop up. Him and Swerve and Hangman get into it immediately, where it's like, what is you be damned if I let you get this title? What, what's this about? XYZ.
Wait, can I get some more context to it?
Yeah,
because this happens backstage.
Yes,
Swerve is walking backstage. Hangman's quickly walking behind him. They get into a bickering match, and then 1,000 security guards just instantly swarm them. Nothing even happened yet. They just swarm them immediately.
Because anything can pop off with them too.
Sure. Then the security should always be around Moxley if that's the case. But whatever.
True.
And then we get the dialogue to where it's like, you broke into my house. Well, you burned my house down. Well, you deserved it. And then Swerve says, I know. And then Heyman's like, what did you say? I said I know. And then Hangman storms off. Now, granted, I just did dramatization. Thank you. Granted, I just did that. I enjoyed this segment. This was very. I texted you guys. This was very CW of them because it did come off. It did come off a little corny, but this was AEW's version of cinema, which I appreciate. This is storytelling. This is a story that's been taking place for a very long time, very similar a la to Tony and Mariah and whatnot. And they're finally recapitalizing on it. But this whole show is a two segment show to me. The MJF Hurt Syndicate stuff and this. Mm-hmm. Like, this is actual storytelling. This is what makes me interested and want to watch the show. Like, yeah, I know you guys are going to give me bangers. You can still give me these quote unquote bangers all you want, but I want to watch Dynasty. I want to watch next week's Dynamite because of these two segments and to see what happens with this. And like I said multiple times on a couple episodes, I think Swerve and Hangman are going to form an uneasy alliance. And this was the start or the seeds planted for that. And it was good to me. Again, it was still kind of like you could argue it's cringe. Like I said, it's very CW. It's a very Arrow show or the Flash show, but it was
Black Lightning.
Black Lightning. But like, this was them actually telling a story, which I like, and that's always what I like. That's what I like about wrestling is that yes, you get the matches, you can have a banger match, but anytime I talk to people about wrestling, one of the first thing I say is kind of it's like going to a play where people fight each other, or it's like a soap opera, but someone gets hit with a chair at some point. Where it like the story matters to me, and it always will. And like whether it doesn't have to be WWE, anyone can tell a goddamn story, and you can still give us a banger. Like Lucha Underground gave me bangers, but they also told a story that was like that had continuity. And like, so anytime people like, oh, I shit on AEW too much or I don't give context. Well, here's the context. Like I like stories along with the banger. And I got two stories tonight that
you've been getting
me
some
to
good
watch.
Ones. Yeah, make me care.
Like, yeah, Tony makes you care.
Make me care.
Ricochet had a good little like 3-month story. Like that was solid too. I do like the way like the Swerve and Hangman one is wrapping up, or like either starting up or wrapping up. But it kind of, new chapter. It makes me wonder like what is going to be Hangman's feel now that like is no longer hatred for Swerve. If the dude who you feel like is your number one option, like, you know what, bro, I was wrong. What motivates you to keep going? Who motivates you? Where do you change that focus to? Right? Because if that uneasy alliance happens. If that uneasy alliance happens with him and Swerve, who does he target next? Like
the Hurt Syndicate with MJF
or the Death Riders. Those are your two. Those are the two biggest ops. I mean, Death Riders have the main title, but yeah, what DT said, it could either be the Hurt Syndicate or it could be.
And Mox don't like touching up with Hangman. Hangman is the one everybody's kind of afraid of. It's like nobody really want to fuck with him.
Well, it's because he's crazy, but he also takes a lot of L's.
That's a good one. I like.
But it's because he's crazy.
I see. That's crazy. I see what he did there. That's
crazy.
I work with children. Children. Okay. Jesus
Christ.
What you mean? He said kayfabe wise.
Yeah, I was being dead ass. That wasn't me. Like that wasn't me.
Oh, I thought that was. I thought that was a shot. I thought that was a shot.
No, I meant no. Dead ass was.
As a human being, Hangman seems like one of the coolest fucking people ever. outside of his character, he seems like one of the coolest people ever. I missed the joke. I was talking. I mean, there's still like a slight lag, but
yeah.
But yeah, I don't know who's gonna be his motivation, but like you say, he can go after Hurt, he can go after Mox and whatnot. Endless possibilities. They definitely have a whole different window of like opportunities here. I'm really interested in seeing how this happens on Dynasty. This is where shit gets a little interesting. Because they Mox end up popping up, throws Swerve through a little glass table, drags him out to the ring, takes the bag and dumps out what looks like real glass, but it's not real glass. It's fake glass. And this is what people wanted, right? We don't want to have even more lacerations and doom and gloom right before the pay-per-view. So he gets slammed onto the plexiglass or whatever. And he ends up like rising up from the dead, like, oh, I'm not injured or whatnot, or I'm not hurt, and kind of like, scaring Mox off. Yeah, I'm not mad at what happened here. I think it would have looked better with real glass, but it would have been really fucking dumb to do that right before the pay-per-view. Like, so
Yeah.
We're not going to do that.
Yeah, because they're gonna really do it during the pay-per-view. This is
Probably.
going to be this match is going to be a pissing contest. It's going to be like who's the craziest person. The winner is not going to change, but it's to me, this match is going to be a whole pissing contest. It's like, oh, you think you could do a crazy bump? Well, I'll do a crazy bump too. Oh, you had spice in your back? Oh, well, fuck it, I'll do this. Oh, you put a syringe in your mouth? Well, I'll do this. And that's probably what's going to fucking happen. But at the end of the day, Moxley's going to end up winning. Unfortunately,
in his
by
promo,
submission.
he said he didn't suffer. He said he didn't suffer enough. So, like, you're going to suffer in this match. Some way, somehow, some form, you're going to see Swerve go through some disgusting shit.
Right, but that doesn't make any sense because how does Mox dictate who suffers or not? We still don't really truly know his motivation. All we know is that he wants to make AEW better somehow by doing all this dumb shit or this crazy shit.
By making niggas reach their full potential, which hasn't really been touched on, but he touched on it in an interview this week. But also, like, by telling Swerve that he ain't suffered yet, you kind of want to see him go through more so you can be prove to me that you're worth it.
Okay,
which is basically what his promo was anyway.
Now I have to defend Swerve for the second time in this whole fucking podcast. What do you mean he hasn't suffered enough? He had his house burned down. He had a syringe in his mouth. He got curb stomped through a goddamn center block. What do you mean he hasn't suffered? Mox, what have you done during this entire run besides just bleed and get fake exploded because the fireworks didn't go off? Like what are we talking about here?
You're not wrong.
I know that. Wrong. Thank you, though. I know that.
You're not wrong. I'm just agreeing.
No. Thank you. No, it's just I don't know. It's going to be a match. Look, if Swerve repeats what he did last year with Dynasty and he wins, dog, I will praise. I'm going to open the show next week, and I'm gonna praise the fuck out you.
We're gonna mail you a Who's House shirt.
All right, DT, you can take it over. I gotta go pee.
What I will say. Oh, he legitimately went. What I will say is this. That's so crazy. But what I will say is this: is to Hero's point of the pissing contest or whatever. I think if the match ends up being that way, it'll be a callback to the. You bled pints while I bled buckets. You were in Texas death matches. I won Texas death matches. So yeah, they gonna like if a nigga lose a finger and there's blood squirting out of it. Like at this point, like I just don't want to see the nail scratching in the back thing. It's something about that is unhinged, sadistic, and just disgusting. Like I don't want to see that. Like don't do that. Don't do that. If you wanna,
we can watch Spike bat, but we can't do the nail in the.
Yeah, if you want to chop a nigga arm off in the ring, do that. I just don't want to see. I don't want to see the raking of the back with the skin. Like that shit is just. Like, just don't. Come on, gang. Like, what's up, my nigga? Like, you like, if you like that kind of punishment, like they got places for that, my nigga. Like,
okay,
and no whips.
All
no
right,
whips.
people.
No whips in the match. I don't want to see that because that's gonna make a nigga feel away.
Yeah, no.
That's gonna make a nigga feel.
If they do some shit like that, I will open the show.
No, I mean after his Vlad interview, there should be no whips. Of course not.
Oh my goodness.
Which, by the way, they are slow. It's part 12, and part 12 is like 3 minutes. Vlad should have just put out the whole interview as one thing. This nigga keep rolling out parts of it, and it's like 3 minutes.
That's like the 50th reason why he sucks is because he'll do an interview, which he's never there for his interviews. Very weird, but like the way he breaks them apart is atrocious. Like, what do you mean? There's 13 parts and one part is 3 minutes.
He content farms. He like farms like he'll take an hour, and cut it down to like 26 videos that are all 3 minutes apart. It's a smart move for content creation, but it's also irritating.
Bro, I can listen to a long ass interview like Cat Williams' interview on the Shay Shay Club, 2 parts. Whether it doesn't matter if it's an hour and a half. That's good. That's 2 good ass podcasts.
Yeah. But from a money aspect, you're gonna click through 16 episodes and that each video pop up a rack, nigga. That's 16 bands. Like,
okay, go look at how many views that Cat Williams should get for as long as he was sitting.
No,
down.
I'm not knocking it. I'm just telling you how the shit be moving. That's how they work, nigga.
I don't know, man. Chris Van Vliet,
greedy tactics, but
Chris Van Vliet doesn't do that, and I don't want to. Yeah. I don't want to shout him out because he doesn't need it. But I would say I'm gonna give a shout out to Chris because like.
No, Chris is solid.
Yeah, yesterday I listened to both the Chris Bay and Raquel one. I have the Samoa Joe on cue, but I want to give if you like wrestling and you want to know more about these wrestlers, I highly suggest as an audience that you guys listen to some of the Chris Van Vliet interviews because honestly, I think he's one of the best voices in wrestling right now as far as interviewing people and having good questions and coming off authentic. He doesn't come off as a clout chaser or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say that Chris is objective and clear about, his shit? There's no personal, he does his thing, right? He's just really good at.
No, absolutely. But also, I'm not an interviewer. If anything, I'm a. When it comes to this podcast, I'm a comedian. On my resume, if I ever reply to another job, I'm gonna say comedian podcaster because I make jokes here.
Okay.
DT does the Instagram stuff. I write jokes for the show.
Did this nigga just minimize me to the Instagram guy?
No, I'm saying you actually do real work. I just pay half the Iris bill and make jokes for the show. I was giving you credit. I was giving you credit and belittling me. That whole thing was just belittling myself because again, I'm the comedian of the show. I'm the Simon Cowell / you
gotta be careful, man. Being the comedian of the show is great. You're the most popular. People love you, but niggas,
I'm not gonna be canceled. Yeah, no, I know. I'm gonna do whatever it takes to not be canceled, and DT's gonna help me with that because that's my brother / neighbor / brother / neighbor /
basically, you catch one of them, you catch the other ones. 2-for-1 deal now.
Oh no!
That's what I'm saying.
No! What is going on here? We're all black. We're all friends. What do you mean? I'm my brother's keeper. You my brother.
Your hero right next.
My brother.
Yeah, that Jimmy. Yeah, one of the best Jimmy promos ever. You my brother. DT says that to me every night, almost.
From the window.
What the fuck are we talking about here? Can we please go to SmackDown?
Yeah, SmackDown.
Can we go to SmackDown?
I will make more things up. Give me time. Give me. You told me to talk more. I'm gonna make some stuff up. All right, yeah, no, let's go to SmackDown.
Okay, SmackDown. It starts with a Punk promo, but that kind of ties into latest promo, so we won't go over too much here or go over at all here. Instead, we're gonna jump into the debut of Mr. Rey Fenix against Nathan Frazier, who, by the way, Jesus Christ, Nathan! I didn't know Nathan Frazier was like that.
Fraxium,
I seen it. I know. I seen Fraxium. That then is solid, but solo Nathan Frazier, solid. But then I sat there and I was like, man, I know his face. I remember seeing him from somewhere, and his name was Ben Carter on Dark. And before I was watching AEW on TV, he did some stuff in AEW. Yeah, and I was like, I wondered where Ben Carter went, and Ben Carter is fucking Nathan Frazier. So this all came full circle for me.
And as far as the internet goes, Nathan Frazier, because even Wade Barrett, he mentions it during the match, but yeah, he trained under Seth Rollins. He is.
Damn, I didn't even get to.
He is literally baby Seth Rollins. He's Seth Rollins Jr. He might be the person that retires Seth Rollins in 7-8 years.
2 years.
2 years.
2 years.
He said, bro. He said he ain't doing it that long, bro.
You see this man on ESPN in the sports shows? Seth is gone.
Yeah.
Wrestlers lie all the time.
Is John Cena lying?
John Cena soft retired years ago. This is his first real retirement.
Is Kevin Owens lying?
We don't know that. I don't know.
See, I think that I don't because I think it's a work.
Look,
I think it's a work.
We'll talk about that. But Nathan Frazier, solid. Rey Fenix came out and was balling.
Amazing.
I told you. I tried to fucking tell you, not you, Hero, but this nigga
Okay.
DT, like, bro, not you.
Nah, Rey Fenix looked like Nikola Jokic like a week ago when he had 61, 15, and 30 in a game. I was like,
I tried to tell you, bro.
I was like, what?
Wait, you choose his best game ever? You choose,
yeah, I don't, like to say that, and you ain't seen the history. That was light. That was a 20 piece, bro. That wasn't even like 60, bro.
You know, to be fair, it's very similar to Penta, like because again, this is WWE style. Like Rey only did maybe like 30% of his like legit offense. Same with Penta. Like we have, like Penta has not.
The scouter ain't broke yet.
Neither one of them has went Kaioken 10 nor Super Saiyan. Like this, like that little move where he ran on the rope and kicked him in the chin. That was nothing.
That was every dynamite. That was every dynamite, nigga. Like,
but it meant so much more. It meant so.
Right.
Hey, listen.
It's because the way they presented it.
Oh, listen. I'm about to tell you. I'm about to tell you. It's different when Bronny dropped 36 in the G League versus when he go and drop 17 in the NBA. It's different. So you could put on a quote unquote classic every night somewhere where niggas ain't really watching, no disrespect. But then when you get some real minutes, you get some real game time minutes.
Seen nothing.
And
you get anything, bro.
Listen, let that be the case. Let that be the case. I hope he turn it up every match.
And Bronny had like 4 assists that game too, I think.
I can't wait because like and I mean that I can't wait from the WWE perspective. Like, bro, like if you can get Lucha versus Fraxium or you get Lucha versus fucking Usos, bro, like it's going to go up, bro. Like,
well, this to go ahead.
Like there's so many different tag teams that Lucha can like be a part of, and right now, of course, they're separate. But eventually, you're gonna have to put them brothers together, and they gonna break some records with the tag belts. Like they are that good.
To me, this match was the seed planting of Lucha Bros versus Fraxium. Like once Fraxium gets up to the main roster and the Lucha Bros are together, they're going to revisit this. This was the introduction. They're going to revisit this, and I can't wait for that.
Yeah,
I can't wait.
And Rey was doing, like, this was a solo match, and Rey's also a phenomenal solos wrestler. I think when you asked me, like, what's the difference, I said Rey's the better wrestler. Penta looks better and looks the best, has a better packaging and everything like that, but Rey is the better wrestler. And just that's also because he's younger, too.
Well,
I saw that.
I think that's subjective, though, because they were solo in Lucha Underground, and, like, Again, like Penta has not done most of his full offense, and he's also been on record saying like his bicep still isn't even fully healed, which I don't even know why he's still fucking wrestling, other than the fact that obviously he wants to, and he is allowing him to. But like,
he loved the game.
They were solo for majority of their Lucha Underground run, to my knowledge, and it's like, I mean, look, I'm not going to say one's better than the other. I think they're both good at different shit. I think they're both fucking fire, and that's why it's like, to me it's a little subjective. Like when it comes to like Rey is better in the sense, Rey Fenix is better in the sense where it's like, yeah, he's gonna do all the cool fucking like rope stuff. Like even in his entrance, he does a cool ass rope move, and I saw a tweet where it's like, man, the 2K devs are gonna fucking hate doing this. Like, you know, like he'll he will do some cool ass like rope trapeze, you know, gymnastic type shit, but like Penta, he still has that super cool ass factor, man. Like Penta is still super fucking cool to where it's like, I want a toy right now of him. Like if I was a kid, I would want that. I would want that costume. I would want that toy. Like to me, it's still very subjective.
The marketability.
Yeah, but they're both very good. And they're very good at different ways because, like Penta doesn't do all the super rope stuff, but he still has obviously super crazy ass lucha moves. And then, Rey's more of the rope trapeze, you know, El Ventiligo type shit. Yeah.
They cover each other's weaknesses. Like,
well, I think
that's how they get down.
I think they just do both versions of like, because there's like just in the same way that there's multiple ways to wrestle. in like American way, whereas like you have the technician, or you have the like if you play 2K, like you have the technician, you have the powerhouse, you have the striker. To me, they just
High flyer.
the high flyer. So like you have those four like differentials or whatever, or in Japanese you have the strong style. To me, they just do two different versions of the lucha. Like one is more of the high flyer lucha, and one is more of the strong style lucha. So to me, like yeah, it is yin and yang, but it's still lucha. It's just like one is more fantastic and does like all the high fly shit, and then one is just like, I'm here to beat your ass. You won't hear these chops. You gonna get the Sierra Merito, and you gonna hear these chops, and you gonna get that ass whoop. Yeah.
Yeah, and anybody listening, and you do have access to watching everything, just go back and look. Just do a little research, and you will be thoroughly impressed with how Lucha Bros are. I've been screaming from like the beginning of this fucking pod that Lucha Bros were fucking amazing. You know what else was amazing? Tiffany Stratton. Charlotte Flair promo.
Is that before or after the Naomi stuff?
This is before.
Okay, cool. Because I didn't take no SmackDown. All right. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. Buddy. Fair
warning. I've watched this promo 7 times. I watched it 4 times back to back. It was so funny. I was crying, nigga.
I watched it twice.
I was looking for, first off rip. As we're coming up for the entrances, you could tell Tiffy got something up on her mind. And I'm like, okay, this just don't look right. Tiffy, she looked like she's focusing. Tiffy gets in the ring and she's pacing. I'm like, why is she pacing? You in these high ass heels. Like, why you pacing like this? What the fuck is about to happen? Magic. Cinema. I almost made this bitch a thumbnail this week. I swear to God, I was really close.
You could.
You should.
Honestly, it's probably the most talked about thing this week. Besides the favor, or besides, yeah.
Okay.
Listen, if it's not them two, it has to be Roman curled up like Yamcha.
Fair.
Because I was gonna send that to you, like, yo, this got to be the one. It's got to be. But yeah,
man. Anywho, they get into the ring and whatnot, and Charlotte's hearing the woos, and she looks at Tiffy's like, "Oh, that's power right there." Tiffy out the gate was like, "What time is it?" Tiffy time. Pop, mad pop.
That's power.
Yeah. Power, bro. The crowd is definitely leaning more so Tiffy than Charlotte, and Chicago is letting her know it early, nigga. Charlotte tries to get off her little promo where she's. The reason why she chose Tiffy is because she was the easiest, and there's no challenge here. Just shitting on Tiffy. Boo it out the building. They not trying to hear it. Chicago they don't want no parts of that shit. The thing with it starts off very WWE-ish, where Tiffy's like, okay, Charlotte thinks she's gonna win, but she's not. She's trying to take advantage of the opportunity. XYZ, like. She's basically saying that you just put yourself here. You didn't deserve it. You didn't earn it. XYZ. She says no matter how many times she wins, she'll always come second to her dad, Ric Flair. But at WrestleMania, she'll come second to Tiffany Stratton. Hinting at Charlotte trying to break her dad's record and everything, trying to be better than Rick, chasing that shadow. Charlotte's like, oh, you're not the first person who heard me say that. Once again, she's getting booed out the building. This is the second time where the fans is like, we ain't trying to hear that weak shit no more. Like, we don't care.
We don't want to hear that weak shit no more.
Nah.
Nah, throw your motherfucking hands.
The booing gets crazy, and it throws Charlotte off. So she just lets Tiffy get the last laugh. She says, "Okay, go ahead, Tiffy. Since you get the last word." This is where shit went haywire. Because what I think was supposed to happen was, Tiffy time. This is my promo. Boom! I'll see you at WrestleMania. Cool.
May I cut in for a little bit? I didn't even know it was on mute.
Yeah.
Because DT, I definitely sung that thing with you. Pause. Okay. So, whew. All right. So yes, Charlotte was trying to talk. Chicago was booing the fuck out of her. Right.
Mm-hmm.
She tries to get her stuff off. They're booing her like she's Dom or the New Day right after the Big E thing. And then then Tiffany is like, that's when she does like, what time is it, you guys? Like, it's Tiffany time, and like Charlotte's like, that's cute. And she keeps trying to talk, still getting booed, and like it's actually getting to her, and you can see that it's getting to her. And this is where my whole problem is going to be. Then Tiffany gets in her bag. And like you both noted, like, yeah, it seemed like Tiffany like knew something was up because she was pacing or whatnot. And honestly, I don't know if she. I personally am not going to say like, oh, she already had this in the clip, like she was automatically going to do this. But I will say, at least from what I've seen, she knew that she had a bar, and she was willing to go to that bar, whether it was just 1 bar, 2 bar, 3 bars. Because she had like 4. She had 5.
Tough ones.
Like, she knew she was going to hit something. And a part of it is that Charlotte was so off her game, Tiffany had to also say something. And now I'm going to stop talking, and I'm going to let you guys continue the story.
So, as she's getting booed out, and she's, crowd's like, whatever. They're not trying to hear Charlotte. Tiffy says,
here come the real
Charlotte
slinging.
Yeah. She was like, Charlotte was trying to play, what were you doing at 25? I'm women's champion, but you at 25 was getting drunk in your daddy's basement. Pause. This one was a crazy shot. One, because there's been history of like, the Flairs and alcoholism. Like I've seen that. We've witnessed that. And if I'm not mistaken, I think it has something to do with her brother as well. I'm not going to go too deep, but there's something there. That's when we saw Charlotte's face just change. Like, oh, like what the? You just said what?
Well, honestly,
ain't no way you said that.
Honestly, I think her face changed before that. Like, I dead ass think that the crowd got to her so much that she was so off her game. Tiffany had to keep saying shit.
Well, not like she didn't have to say that. I think the crowd had her off her game, and Tiffy didn't have to say that. She just had to wrap it up. But Tiffy saw that the crowd was going against her, and she can get whatever she wanted to get off in this moment, and she ran with it. She took this bitch back to the house. You know how, like, when you play Madden, you're supposed to like kneel and not go for a Hail Mary. Tiffy said, "Fuck that! I'm going for the Hail Mary." Like,
I don't think it was at that
punt on 3rd down.
I agree with you. I just don't think it was at that particular very moment.
Okay.
But I do agree with you to where it was like Tiffany knew was like at this point, like, no, I got to get my get back because I talked about it on the show. It was like, to me, it seemed like Charlotte, like with the 2 moonsaults, Charlotte didn't want to be nowhere near it. And he was like, oh, it's probably her knees, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, nah, this is kind of sus. Like Charlotte's history is a little sus to me, and I said that on the show, and then like you go to the other week when it was the video
side by side,
and Charlotte did what Charlotte usually does, which I'll go into a little later when we continue to talk. But like to me, like
Charlotte was trying to kill her.
Charlotte has a history of over talking people. She has a history of changing the script. Where it was like, DT's trying to get a promo in, like, it happens, in podcasting, it happens because like sometimes we talk over each other because there's lag or whatever, or we're excited to talk. But like Charlotte will personally try to overtalk you as you're trying to make a point. It's like very similar to what MVP did to fucking Bill and Brian Keefe, But on this, with Charlotte, is like there's a history of it. It almost comes off malicious. So. Like, there's a lot of praise for what Tiffany did, but I'm gonna stop there now, and we can continue.
So, she calls Charlotte Nepo baby Flair says she's the Nepo queen. She's living in, yes, I get what I want because who my dad is, which, you know, in some instances doesn't make you better than anybody, but, you know, she's riding with it, whatever. Tiffy then brings out, like, early in the pod, or not pod, early in the promo, she brings up, you were on some TV show talking and crying about your feelings and whatnot. Like, who are you? Which never really happened. You don't hear about people's interviews being brought up in promo.
Is it one mic or is it Uchiwala? That's literally what she
literally. And so she was like, "Oh, you're gonna end up being alone after this. After I beat you at WrestleMania, you're gonna end up being alone like you always are, right? What is that? 0-3?" And I like this moment because we're in the group chat. I was like 0-3, and then it hit me immediately, and I was like, "Oh, never mind, y'all. Never fucking mind." 0-3 people is referencing, you know, her 3 failed marriages. And as she says 0-3, she points to her ring finger in the promo. And I'm like, oh, she's on one. And then this is how I know, though. This is how I know Tiffy. This is the only part where Tiffy don't get no play on me. Like she lost a little bit of points. She rolled out.
Hell
she
yeah,
rolled out. No, she rolled out. So you can't.
Yeah.
She rolled out like, oh, I know she's about to hit me.
You tried to play me. You tried to play me this whole build, bitch.
You can't shoot some shots, nigga, and roll out.
I watched the internet sit there and fucking say you tried to bury me. I got some for your motherfucking ass. I'm holding on to this. Here you go, bitch. Kabooyow. This is the one, nigga. And I'm gonna roll out, and you can't say shit. And whatever else the fuck you trying to say, it ain't even gonna matter. It ain't even gonna matter.
And this is why I agree with what DT said. And to counter you is because Charlotte's response is more than likely made the fuck up. Because she was well, Kaiser's in my DMs. And it's like, show me the
Tiffany.
Show me the receipts.
Tiffany better than you. Ain't no way. Ain't no way.
Show me the receipts.
Ain't no way.
Show me you like even like at the time of watching, because my wife didn't see any spoil. Like she saw some spoilers, but she didn't know like the full context. But even then, she was like, "Oh, this is coming off as someone who can't take an L." Like it's like you like
she can't.
Tiffany had the mic drop bar, and is like she was walking away, which again everything that we've seen online is according to SRS, according to WrestleVotes or whoever the hell. Apparently, a lot of this was unscripted, which you watch it enough times to where I feel like you might be able to contest. Nigga. It was unscripted.
Cinema's my favorite promo of the year.
No, this might be the segment of the year. Like dead ass. Like this was because my wife was like, "What do you think about the segment?" Because she knew I was about to be on the show, and I was like, "This segment was a mess." Like this was a hot mess, is what I said. But it was a hot mess in the sense of reality TV. Like
VH1, nigga.
This was whatever the white girl version of Bad Girls Club. This was that, just without the fist. This was like love. This was the Love Island reunion show. This was the Montoya, por favor. Like this was the reunion version of that. Like this was like when DT said it, like because he said it in the chat before I even watched it. He's like, "Hey, these white girls, they." he hit us with the fucking Lil Kim give, essentially like nigga. They shooting shots.
I forgot the best part. I left the best part out when she was really getting barred up. She started squeaking. Charlotte started squeaking her voice like, "I can't hear Tiffany." It's like you lost
because she was shook.
She was losing and went straight to the Mean Girls bag of your voice is so high, and it sounded like White Chicks. At that moment, Charlotte looked like she was part of White Chicks, and she was like Marlon Wayans. Yeah, it was the greatest shit in the world, nigga.
Now here's the problem.
Wait.
Here's the
before you become Mr. Rationale. Kaiser did respond on Twitter, and Kaiser was like, "Don't flatter yourself, bitch. Don't flatter yourself."
With the HBK clip, by the way.
Don't flatter yourself.
And then apparently he unfollowed. I saw people try to prove it. I don't know if that's legit, but apparently he unfollowed her. Apparently he unfollowed Charlotte on Instagram. Who gives a shit?
I already got one moonsault at home. I don't need yours.
Because listen, dog. Let's keep it a bean. Nope, we ain't gonna do that. This ain't the place for it.
No.
I'll keep it a bean. No, I'll keep it a bean off pod. Anyway, here's the ramifications.
Yes.
Should Tiffy win at WrestleMania now? Absolutely. Will she? Probably not, because Charlotte's probably not going to do business now. I would be shocked if Charlotte lets her pin her. I would be shocked. I don't see after that. She can't take it. You gotta get your dub back somewhere. You talked all that shit, bitch, and you walked out of here without the belt. Based
off of Charlotte's history, like I texted you guys after the clip and whatnot. I was like, this is either going to be the best match on the card, very similar to Rhea and Charlotte night one, like that was, or it's going to be a fucking car crash, very similar to the Nia Jax Charlotte match during the pandemic, to where it's like,
do you think she's going to actually try to box her, or is she going to loaf it in?
It could be.
I don't think Charlotte's going to loaf it in.
It could be both. That's the thing. It could be both. Like Charlotte has a history, like whether it's the Nia Jax her match during the pandemic, where there was like the Nia Jax moment where there was a moment with Charlotte and Becky, like when they were trying to hand each other belts. Like she has a history of trying to undermine the other talent. She has a history of trying to like bury the other people, or like she has history of changing the script. She has a history of just not playing ball unless she really wants to play ball. Like unless she really likes you, she has a history of not playing ball. So it's like, so that's why I said that. Where it's like, we might get a moment where we might see a slap fight for like 5 minutes. Who knows? Like it might be very a la of the Nia Charlotte match, but it also might be a banger, very a la of Rhea and Charlotte too. I'm kind of worried with it, but they're like, Charlotte is very professional.
How do you say all of that and all that you have said about Charlotte for the last 15 minutes?
No.
And I don't mean like, I'm not like the last 15 minutes of conversation around Charlotte has been about how unprofessional she has been, but then you end your point with saying she's very professional. You're talking out of both sides of your neck, my nigga.
Okay, she can be very professional. There's been moments where she's not.
And what I'm saying is, Tiffy now runs the risk. She got the one up. She got the dub. If nothing else happens for Tiffy the rest of this year, niggas will talk about how she got her one up back on Charlotte.
Right.
Regardless of what happens at WrestleMania. However, if there was an opportunity for her to win and for Charlotte to put her over, I believe, based on what you have said in this conversation, that shit is completely off the table.
Here's this. I'm gonna say this in a completely non-biased way, and it's gonna sound mad fucking biased because whatever. Charlotte's extremely problematic. It's once against the Nepo shit. It's like, oh, I'm entitled, and you can kind of blame Vince for that, you know. And we don't see like Charlotte take. She don't take the route of the Baileys, of the, you know, the Beckys, to where like, I'm gonna humble myself, I'm gonna give back to the game, you know, give back to the young ones and push them up. It don't exist. It don't exist. The same shit y'all give XYZ, y'all give CEO, you don't give to. You got to give the same energy to Charlotte. Like Charlotte is awful, bro.
I will let you continue. I would just like to say, you're not wrong. The only counter I have is that Charlotte has tried to be face multiple times, and
it just doesn't work.
It just does not work because the crowd, the audience, does not buy it. They tried to make her face when Becky first turned heel, and what people do, they cheered Becky because Becky was in the fucking right. She had every right to have that one-on-one versus Carmella. Charlotte came out of nowhere after an injury. She gets in the match. She wins the title. People are fucking upset. Like, and there's other moments with that. Like, I mean, again, just with this Royal Rumble, it was like, we predicted her to win the Rumble they didn't have to make that happen. She won the Rumble,
No.
and then what happened in the next Raw? She was booed out the building to the point where they literally had to again, like, it was like, all right, let's repack it, like, let's re-swerve it, and like we'll make her the heel. We're gonna turn Tiffany face now because the crowd,
But
we can't. They don't fuck with Charlotte.
That is of her own doing.
It's a part of her.
There's no way that there's no way that we can have this conversation that we have had about Charlotte for the past time that we've had it, and the rest of the wrestling community not know about it or not have that perception or not have that belief of her. So she made that bid. There's the way that she would have to lose at the rate that John Cena lost the last 5-6 years for people to potentially back off of booing Charlotte. But she's not going to do that. She's just not going to do it. She's not.
And if you look at it from the standpoint of, like, you know, you just came back from a knee injury, a serious knee injury. Charlotte was almost out, almost 2 years, right? Like, she was out for a minute, and you come back and win Rumble. It's like, yeah, that's going to sit a little weird with the fans, bro. Like, once again, you're playing with the fans' intelligence. Like, they're not like where we love Charlotte, but come on, don't just throw it in our face like that. Like, that's crazy, bro. Yeah. Especially with the year of women that like was in front of us. To piggyback on like the Mania thing, like, I don't know how that match is going to happen or what it's going to look like. I do know that Charlotte is probably going to get her lick back in some way, shape, or form. Because not only did you embarrass me in front of Chicago, you said some personal shit. You also did it the day before her birthday. It's like,
and the day after the interview came out, like, she was literally just crying online and whatnot.
That's what I'm saying. Like, there's going to be some kind of receipt coming. I don't know what it's going to look like, but if you might see. You might see some shit on the.
But to be fair, real quick, just like in maybe this is the S on my chest. This is just me being as hopeful and as optimistic as possible. Like, maybe Charlotte did give her some of the ammo. Like, let's try to make this shit interesting, because she didn't want to have a repeat of what happened with her and Rhea at 39. Like, she already knew the feud was kind of dwindling. They're not going to be the main event again. Like, maybe behind the scenes, she told Tiffany to go this route. Or at least maybe she told Tiffany to hit a couple of the bullet points of some serious shit. We will never know until a book or a podcast comes out. But at the end of the day, based off of what we've seen and based off of like how many times we have seen it, between all of us, we watched this clip like 20 times already. It seems like it was mostly authentic. I'm going to place most of the blame on Charlotte. And the reason I'm placing most of the blame on Charlotte for how the segment came to be is because Charlotte is the veteran in this situation. Like, you should be used to being booed. Like, if Dominic can still talk throughout these boos, if Logan Paul can still talk throughout all these boos, like, these, like, granted, everyone can have a bad day. Like, we had a pre-show, everyone can have, like, when we talk pre-show, everyone can have a bad day to where you're off your game. This crowd clearly got Charlotte off her game to where somehow it spun into what we saw.
She quit a promo. Like, mid-promo. Like, yeah, that's crazy.
Like, you literally said before, I think it was I'm pretty sure it was me before I cut you off, but like you said, it was like, yeah, Charlotte literally was like, "You're all right, Tiffany, just finish your shit." To where it's like, that's not wrestling. I don't want to say it's not wrestling, but it's not like, as a vet,
you don't do that.
About to break your father's record. Like, you've been in this game for a very long time. And even before you were in this game, you were in the game because of how tied your father / your brother were into this game. Like, I don't know. Like, it's one of those moments to where, like, either this was planned. I don't think it was. I think Charlotte was literally thrown off her game, especially because the interview came out literally like the day before, and you saw her emotional, which we never see Charlotte emotional. I think she was legitimately thrown off her game. But that's not to say that she didn't at least hand Tiffany a couple bullet points to be like, all right, say this. Like, let's try to make this feud hot, because we're not going to get blood like how Jay and Gunther got. We're not the Roman Seth Punk shit, and we're not the Cena and Cody shit. Like, let's make this feud fucking hot. Maybe she gave her a couple bullet points, but then Tiffany was like, you know what? F this. I got to get into my bag because you tried to embarrass me the other week. I think a lot of these things can be true. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. We're going to move on. In closing, like he says, Charlotte, I think both are at fault here. I think that you can't go to business for yourself, no matter how frustrated you may be. And also throwing out personal information publicly like that is also kind of crazy. After this, we get the B-Fab and Naomi. Naomi immediately goes for like.
No, we don't. We get we get the Storm.
Yeah,
the Storm first.
Yeah, yeah. Jay come out mid-entrance, not mid-entrance, beginning of entrance, and put hands and feet.
Yep, Naomi's. Yep. Boop 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 boop. All right, and then
still a great match between B-Fab and Naomi. B-Fab getting reps in. B-Fab looks great. She also did like a promo online as well. That was also pretty solid. Like the B-Fab like level up is happening, and I'm glad she's here. All right. But ultimately, this sets up Naomi versus Jade, and Aldis announces it for WrestleMania. And we have Jade and Naomi, WrestleMania. I think it was like the first non-women's title match on the show in like 18 years or 19 years or something like that.
The first non-title feud for a women, the first non-title match for a women's feud in 19 years. The first non-title match or non-title feud in WrestleMania with black women ever, and also the second black woman versus black woman WrestleMania match.
Mania match.
So
now,
breaking a lot of barriers, a lot of cool shit.
You're gonna hate me. You're gonna hate me.
I'm gonna take this time to say if you say we're
the black men are on the card, bro, I will fight you. Right?
No. I'm gonna say.
I think he's gonna take this time to say Dynasty got 8 niggas in it right now.
No, god damn, nigga, no. Fuck y'all niggas is wrong. Shit. I'm gonna say Naomi lights out deserves this match.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Love this for her.
Yeah. That's not a hot take at all. Naomi should win this match. What you mean?
Jade should not be there.
We don't know that yet. Again, I'm saying the same thing I've been saying for the last 4 weeks. We do not know what she has or has not done yet. We have to wait.
Look,
now, if she bombed this bitch, then yeah.
Jade had maybe like 6 singles matches the entire year, if that.
They probably giving her the Logan Paul treatment.
I don't know. Now Naomi, love it. She deserves this fucking moment. She deserves it. I just don't know if Jade, like, I ain't seen enough of Jade to be up there. Not solo, not one-on-one.
Right.
But once again, you're in there with the best women. You're in there one of the best women wrestlers in the WWE to orchestrate this match. Naomi's going to orchestrate the hell out of this match for Jade.
Right.
And it's going to be rehearsed.
Yeah.
Very much so. Very much so.
The reason why you have to do this is because you yourself, I mean, whether you course corrected or not, but like, everyone is asked, like, why is she still in this tag team with Bianca for like a year? Because she was in a tag team for Bianca for almost a year. Everyone was like, when she's going to the singles push. Obviously, a lot of shit been derailed because she got injured or fake injured, whatever the case is. This is the time to sink or swim. Very similar to what was going on with Stratton and Charlotte and a couple other people. You can say people in AEW as well. Like, this is the time to sink or swim. It was like they invested a lot of time in you, a lot of money in you. You were paired up with one of the best women ever with Bianca / also Naomi for a little bit as a big three. This is your time to have a singles match on the big stage. This is what you signed up for. This is why you left your former company, to learn and to get this kind of platform and this kind of presentation. This is a sink or swim moment, but it's not like if she sinks, I don't think she's going to drown. They still put way too much money in her and time invested in her, but like, it's been a year at this point. This is the time to give her a singles feud.
I need a heater before she gets up there on Mania. This next 2 weeks or whatever, I need like Jade to fight somebody 1-on-1.
She just
so I can
fought
see a little bit of
Liv.
something.
She just fought Liv, who's one of the best women's wrestlers ever, and she only lost because of DQ or interference. I mean,
I need a little bit more. That's just me personally. I hope that I don't offend anybody, but it's like, I just need to see like.
No,
I needed to make sense.
That was a legitimate take. No. The shit that we were talking about was some shit that we would have been like, all right, nigga.
Yeah, no, I wasn't gonna hit those at all because I don't really. All right, nigga.
Yeah, but yeah, no. This is it. They're gonna see what she can do. Again, it should be very much like a Logan Paul match. Every spot needs to be rehearsed. It needs to go in this order. It needs to be like a dance, a count. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1 through the whole match, and then we get to the end, and Naomi should win.
Absolutely.
Like I don't give a fuck how strong Jade's supposed to be. Superhero. Naomi should win, and that it needs to carry over to Backlash. And then if Jade is good enough to win at Backlash, then they can do a rubber match or something at fucking Evolution.
Okay, may I say this? So, okay, I think you guys are being a little slightly harsh, just a little bit, just like 2% harsh, to where I don't know. Yes, she hasn't had that many single matches, but having matches isn't her biggest problem. Like, having matches is a problem based off of her previous job because she was mostly in squash matches, but based off everything we've seen since she's been in the E, since she started, so literally a year ago, she can have a match. Whether it's like, I mean, and she's had a couple single matches. Have they been 10 minutes, 15 minutes? No. But we've seen she can have a match. Her biggest issue is literally just being on the mic and acting because like that that's her biggest
which
flaw.
Is why she needs to that's why she needs to have a good match.
And
you can't not talk and not wrestle and be in the best company.
And
or the top company.
We can't keep riding like, you know, your last company or last job a year ago, you had squash matches. Like if you had a job for a year and you're still a bad worker, that's not on the past job. That's on you.
Bro, we literally just talked about Marina being in PC for like 7 years.
But that's on Marina. That's not on her past jobs.
Yes, right. Okay, but like Jay doesn't have bad matches. It's literally her promos that aren't that great, which at that point, then you give her a manager.
Jada had never.
She's had at least 4 of the 5 single matches since she's debuted last year.
It's like 4 squash. Like
they have not been.
With the exception of Liv.
She's had a. She said with the exception. He said with the exception of. Look, all I'm saying is like matches aren't her weakest point. It's her promos. So like whether she wins or lose, I think it's going to be fine. I'm not upset if she wins this. I would be upset if she wins the Backlash at WrestleMania because I still believe that Jay is right where we're going to get Naomi with like Lash and Jakara.
Close it out, DT.
The reason why the match needs to be good, I could care less about whether she wins or lose. From a Jade standpoint, the reason why the match needs to be good is because it's a glaring weakness that she can't cut a promo or convey emotion at the moment. So to offset that, she needs to be a great in-ring performer. To make sure that that is the case, you need to orchestrate and choreograph her matches in a way that are still believable but make her look strong, and she can hit each beat without having to stop or think or anything else about that. Because we, again, like Loner said, we haven't seen her on TV. Which means she hasn't performed in front of a camera, in front of fans on TV.
She just had a match with Liv.
I understand. I am aware. She has not done it at a rate that would make fans feel comfortable, which is why people like Loner have this qualm. So in order to get past that, if she is going to be on WrestleMania, her match needs to be pristine to make up for the fact that she can't talk at the moment. Once she gets better on the mic and better at conveying emotion, then you can let some of the reins loose in her match and allow her to develop in a way that makes sense.
Okay, real quick.
A good example.
My last point, real quick. Just real quick, because you gave him a last point. Let me give my last point. Naomi's like,
because
we talked about how Naomi is one of those people like Bayley who will make people look better. This is why she's having a single match with Naomi. If this match is dead ass a stinker, then everything you guys said,
it's on her. Yes,
right, but it's not just on her because wrestling is a dance. It also depends on the person making you look good. So, and Naomi is one of those people, just like we said about Bayley and a couple other people, where they can wrestle damn near a plastic bag and they will make you look good. It's on Jade to help with that, but she's with a good partner.
Yeah, thoroughly agree. It's possible to come in and have a great match. Ronda had a great Mania match. So, like, when Ronda first came in, everybody's like, oh, my God, it was a tag team match with Triple H, Kurt Angle, Stephanie. Solid fucking match. Everybody thought Ronda was, like, one-on-one. So, it's very possible to have a good orchestrated match. Jumping out of this, though, KO. KO comes out, and he says that he's injured. Severe, major neck injury. So much so that, the dirt sheets got ahead of it and let it out earlier before he was able to, and he came out and said he wished that he had the chance to tell everybody. We don't know when KO is going to come back. We don't know what that's going to look like. We also don't know now what do we do with the Randy story. What does Randy do? First off, we said at the beginning of the show, but also, thoughts and prayers to KO. Like, that's fucking brutal, especially around Mania time, because nobody wants to miss Mania, not 2 weeks, 3 weeks out. And the fact that, like, they had to pull him 3 weeks out from Mania means that it was pretty fucking severe. Like, if they let Seth wrestle, and Seth was fucked up, Kev being pulled out is probably like some serious shit. What do we do with Randy, though? What are the options here?
The options are Nick Aldis or Aleister Black.
What you got, DT?
He's gonna get the Randy. You have a special unknown, the same shit they did for Seth with Cody, and then it'll probably be Aleister Black. You don't know who your opponent is, but because you're in WrestleMania, we're not going to take this opportunity from you. So you'll have a WrestleMania match against a special opponent, an unknown opponent. Randy will come out first, and then Buddy will walk down the ramp, and Randy going to get kicked in the face. We might not see a
You got to stop saying kick. Buddy. You got to say pal or something.
We also saw that there's a tag team qualifier next week with the winner going to WrestleMania for the women's tag team belts. We're talking about the relevance is that we're talking about Bayley and what Bayley's doing, but it looks like Bayley's teamed up with Lyra, and I don't need them to win this match.
I don't think they will. There's a chance they will, but I don't think they will. But there's a chance.
I don't need them to win this match. I don't like, and I want Bayley on Mania, but it's not in the tag team picture. And
especially
also,
if it's meant to be a loss, because we know that she's going to go after the IC. It seems pretty blatant.
And you also have like your IC champ in there, like the women's intercontinental champion is in there. Like that's also one of those titles that should be like, let's push this bitch up. Like let's do something with that.
They'll lose. It'll be because of miscommunication between Bayley and Lyra, which will set up their feud for the actual belt.
Who wins though? Do you want to see Secret Hervis?
Nah.
Got Piper in them?
I honestly, I think
EDM girls in there.
I think Meechit and B-Fab just to have 2 more black women on the card.
That'd be fire.
You
also got Shane and Zoe on there. We ain't seen them do anything in a while. There's a last man standing match between Braun Strowman and the Samoan Werewolf, Jacob Fatu. Y'all got any thoughts about this? Anything you want to get off your chest here? Right man won. Jacob Fatu's probably going to Mania against LA Knight, and probably going to end up winning that one too.
Unless Solo fucks up.
That's also true, and that's been the story they're telling. Is Solo has been fucking up
because they're doing a slow burn with that, which I'm fine with, because I don't think Solo versus Fatu is a Mania match, and that's something that could be a slow burn. So yeah, I mean either Fatu wins or Fatu loses, and you continue the slow burn to where we get maybe Fatu and Solo at SummerSlam or something. I don't know.
All right, show kicks off or ends off with the big three promo between Punk, Roman, Seth. This one ends up with the Tribal Chief opening up, and he's calling out Punk because the theme of the show is this favor. The early promo, Paul Heyman came out and asked about this favor and wanted or begged CM Punk to tell him what this favor was so that the Tribal Chief wouldn't be mad. Roman's a little pissed off now. He doesn't know what the fuck the favor is. Calls for fucking Punk to come out. Seth Rollins comes out, and he's just there to witness the chaos, just to be there. This is like the little brother who's watching the ass whooping about to happen. Like, he's not in trouble. He's just there to witness you get your ass whooped. Like, I try to save you, man. I told you not to jump out the window, but no, I'm gonna watch you get all this. Enter Punk. Punk comes out, and we find out that the favor is representation. Is that Paul Heyman will be representing CM Punk instead of the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns.
Well, it's more than representing. He's in his corner.
Yeah, representation. He's in his corner. Yeah, he's going to be
like the words mean stuff. Is what I'm trying to say.
Is this what we wanted the favor to be? Did you think the favor was going to be representation? I think we talked about like him being in the corner. I think DT actually said in particular that Heyman was going to be in Punk's corner. This is also funny because I think this is the only thing that's going to link Seth and Roman together is the hatred that, oh, you stole my wise man from me, and Punk's probably going to get jumped at some point. I don't know who wins this match. I don't have an idea on who wins. But overall, do y'all agree with this being the favor? Do you like the output? I think there's been mixed reviews online and whatnot. How do y'all personally feel about it?
I'm gonna let DT go first.
I think he wants you to go first.
Oh, wow. Okay, well, great. So, all right. So, behind the scenes, DT has said for a while that this would probably be the favor. And I was on the slight opposition, only because I thought there would be a little more to the favor, which there still could be. So, as of right now, Punk wants to be walked out with with Heyman, with Paul, and he wants Paul in his corner. And the storyline goes, as of right now, where, Seth he comes out and he's like, I just want to see the shit, like you said, Jay. And after everything is said and done, Seth is laughing the whole time, and he's like, dog, I told you so. I told you. But even before that, there's a moment where Heyman talks through the camera, which it honestly could be a play. We'll see later. But he talks to the camera. He's like, it doesn't matter what the favor is. I automatically say yes because that's how I repay favors. You do a favor for me.
Yeah, that shit was crazy.
I do a favor for you. I automatically say yes. And then a car approaches up. He's like, my Tribal Chief. Thank you, my Tribal Chief. And it's Seth. And then Seth, he does Seth. And he's like, you know what? I crashed out last week, which he did. And he had a really good crash out. He acted really good. We did not go super in depth in it. But he's like, yeah, you know what? I kind of got a plan. I'm an architect. We'll see what happens. And then fast forward to the end where, Punk tells Roman, my favorite is I want him. And then Roman's like, tell him no. I brought you into relevancy. Tell him no. And Heyman's like, I can't tell him no, my Tribal Chief. I have to say yes. And Roman's upset. And it ends up with Roman being attacked, get a GTS. He lays out like Yamcha. And then Seth is just laughing the whole time, essentially, and also just saying, I told you so, which is also something I said last week as well. Yeah. So that is the recap of what happened.
Now, from the perspective of our resident Bloodline member here, the man who has 2 rooms on the island of relevancy and a condo, Mr. DT, how do you feel about, everything that happened?
That's funny that you said that. So the reason Paul Heyman is so eager for the favor is because he's fearful of where Roman's mindset is at. He alludes to it multiple times throughout the evening about, these Samoans, as he likes to pronounce, are dangerous. And he's like, do you know who his father is? His father was dangerous when he was uneasy, yada, yada, yada. Whatever, like, Punk, stop putting me through all this torture. Like, whatever the favor is, I'll say yes, because I need to ease my tribal chief's mind. Cool. Fast forward, blah, 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 to get in the ring. I saw a lot of people going back to the same verbiage of, oh, Roman hasn't changed. He's not a face. He's da-da-da-da-da. When he came back in November, he said a lot of things changed. I have not. Nothing has changed. Just because y'all are cheering for me does not mean I have changed. Nothing has changed. I'm still me. I'm still the tribal chief, and you will still acknowledge me. So it's on par. I think what was great was you seen the confusion from the fans wanting to cheer and boo for Roman at the same time because they didn't know how to feel, which allowed Roman to float in between face and heel through the promo, even though he is still the same person.
All of them are faces right now. Technically, I'm putting quotations on that.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I don't disagree with that. But I think the heel will end up being probably Roman again. But for good reason. Anyway, the crazy thing about the promo is I can't even say that he got betrayed. I just think Roman has he didn't get betrayed. That's the first thing. I think his concept of loyalty is off because he talks to Seth about how he can't talk to Seth about it because he doesn't know shit about loyalty. Cool, check that box. But then you get mad at Paul Heyman for being loyal to somebody who he knew before you after he gave him his word. Like, you can't tell a nigga they don't know nothing about loyalty and then get mad when a nigga shows loyalty to his word. When he's actually showing loyalty to you because he's doing whatever he can to get you back into power.
Right.
So cool. Check that.
And also your cousins who showed loyalty to each other. But
yeah, I was like, you done took out your entire family,
Yeah. So another blind spot. Cool. Still rocking. Roman wasn't actually going to physically hurt Paul. He told him to wipe his tears. He didn't wipe his tears. So Roman kind of he did the parent thing where he scrunched up the shirt, snatched you up a little bit. And he took the handkerchief out and started to wipe the tears away from Paul Heyman, and then he got his ass beat by Punk. So I don't know if they're going to play into that at all, if any, but Punk was saving his best friend from what he thought was imminent danger, which it didn't look like it was going to be dangerous. He just, he just snatched the nigga up a little bit. That happens.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I don't even think that was. I don't even think Punk was saving him from imminent danger. I don't like.
To me, it was his perception.
Yeah, I do agree with that. In this new era of wrestlers being smart, I just feel like he just knew it's time to attack Roman. This is my receipt because Roman not only fucked me over through the Hell in a Cell, but he also speared me and Superman punched me. To me, that was his receipt because if he really truly wanted to protect Paul, then he would have stayed throughout the entire segment. Because you see, you get a segment where Roman and Roman and Paul are walking back together, and Roman's not talking to Paul at all. So that's my only counter to that is that I don't know if Punk is fully protecting Heyman in the sense of Brock Lesnar would have attacked Paul, and then Roman would have saved Roman or Punk would have saved Paul from that Brock attack. But what DT was saying is Roman was handsy and he was upset, but he wasn't going to legitimately attack Paul. Like, Roman has never attacked Paul in this whole 4 or 5 years. He's never attacked Paul, to my knowledge.
He did one time.
Oh, he did one time?
He did one time.
Was that just...
He gave him a...
Was that just for the...
When he fired him and then Superman punched him.
You could argue that was for the show, for the Brock feud, though, because, like, Brock, he betrayed him for Brock, right? It was during that?
Yeah, but that's in the 5 years that they've been
together. Right,
together.
okay, well, but yeah, you could argue that was, like, to kayfabe to betray Brock, because you betrayed me, but you're really betraying Brock. Like, you could argue that, but, like, okay, so overall, he might have attacked Paul once, but, yeah, I don't know. It's all very touchy. It's a gray subject, which is what makes it good wrestling, because it's very gray.
Yeah, I think, and like I'll keep calling back the line that Punk said, like, you two have never beat me unless y'all work together, and like, Punk is gonna win at Mania. I don't know how yet, but Punk will probably win at Mania, which will cause an issue for Roman and Heyman. And Heyman is never with a loser. Heyman's always a bad guy, but he's never with a loser. He's never with someone who doesn't win or isn't on top or heading to the top. So,
foreshadowing, maybe?
I mean, because Brock lost a couple times. Brock lost to Seth. He lost to Roman. Yeah.
Are you talking about the cash in at 31? Is that?
Brock has...
Is that what you're talking?
Yes, sort of, but he also lost to Roman after that. So, like, Heyman has been attached to... I don't want to say he's been attached to losers, but he's, like... Brock has lost a couple times, you know? So, you know, Roman lost last year. Like, I wouldn't say he's attached to losers, but, like, sometimes his clients lose. It is what it is, you know?
But you're the top guy.
Right.
Roman, I mean, Heyman is attached to the top guy.
Roman is still very much the top guy.
I saw that, like, going back to DT talking about, like, you know, you two have never beat me one without the other. You know, he's been saying that in his in these promos. Something really cool that I thought was kind of dope was that he referenced his promo with Mox. Then people were like, oh my God, he's using the same AEW All In promo. But it's like, don't y'all see the fucking, like, the thread there? Like, anybody who's, like, looking at it would be like, okay, he's doing it on purpose. Like, when he says y'all, it wasn't just two of them. He can't physically say fucking Mox, so he's, like, you know, using promo bits. And I like that. I like, you know, those in between the line shits. We've been talking about it, like, for the past 3 weeks, that they've been doing subtle shit on both programming. No,
like, it's even before 3 weeks, because there was a video. It was like not a montage, but it was like a side by side. The way Seth lost during January 6th is one of the same way Moxley lost against Punk in AEW. Like,
yeah,
you know, and then there was the whole, like, oh, Moxley, Roman, and Seth used the curb stop all in one weekend. Like, there's ties. Like, again, like, the tribalism is literally only for the internet, you guys. Like, all these motherfuckers are majority of the time, all of them are friends, or they at least all talk, you know. Anyway,
it's like, this is a side tangent. This is like when you play, like, The Last of Us and they do, like, the Jack and Daxter on the shelf. Like, just like, it's a nod to, like, oh, we are tied, but, you know, we can't go into like any depth.
Easter egg.
Easter eggs. There you go. But yeah, that's the show, folks. Unless anybody here has something to get off their chest. If not, we will get out of here.
Well, okay, you know, I do. You didn't just like the earlier triple threat. You didn't ask who we think should win this match.
Oh. Who do y'all think should win this match?
TT.
I mean, I already said.
You know, you said it in our group chat. Who do you think should win this match?
What match are you talking about?
This match. This triple threat.
I just said it 2 minutes ago.
Oh, you did?
On the pod.
Oh,
he said Punk.
I said.
You said Punk.
Yeah,
okay.
I said I think Punk should win, because Punk wins. There's a better story that unfolds out of that. So
okay.
And it'll lead to Roman and hopefully Roman and Seth adding another chapter.
All right. I gotta disagree.
Who do you... Well, let me guess. You think Seth should win? Because you've already stated multiple times you think Roman is the person who is least likely or who shouldn't win.
He is,
which means if
he wouldn't learn a lesson if he wins.
No, you wouldn't. So like if you're doing like legitimate storytelling, and granted, I was an English major, don't know shit about grammar, can't tell you where to put a comma. But as far as storytelling goes, Roman learns the least out of winning this match. And then what DT said in our chat personally, which also I did agree with if you would have asked me this question a week ago or even 2 weeks ago, Punk should maybe win the match based off of like the favor, based off of some of the other storytelling elements. But asking me this question right now, similar to how I feel about Bianca and or Io, I think Seth should win this match. I think he has the most to lose character-wise by not winning this match. I think you can get the same.
Is that personal?
No, it's not. I'm literally trying not to be non-biased as possible. I think storytelling-wise, Roman has nothing to he has nothing to lose or win if he is the one in third place. Punk has something to win if he wins. I wouldn't say he has something to win, but it's okay, cool. You got Heyman, you won your first WrestleMania thing that you've always wanted, and then you could push him to wherever you want. And then there's Seth. To me, Seth should win because if Seth wins, then he can just ride into the sunset in the sense where it was okay, he beat both of his ops, and then you can instantly put him in a different program without it being weird or convoluted.
Wait, time out. If you think Seth wins this...
Let me...
No. I just want to it's small. It's really quick.
Okay.
If you think Seth wins and this shit is just over, they just not going to double back?
No, it's not.
It's never with him and Roman. It's never over. With him and Punk, it would kind of be over.
It's not over.
It would be. It would be. It would be kind of over because then he technically got 2 wins over Punk. Whether the one was with help of Roman or not, it doesn't matter. He got 2 wins over Punk. That instantly kind of kills his feud with Punk. It at least cools it down. You're not.
Land. Let him land.
No, I'm sorry to interrupt, but here's why I disagree with you. Is if Seth wins and he wins based on the fact that Roman does something to Punk before he gets the pin, that's twice now that Seth has not beaten CM Punk one-on-one without Roman's help. If CM Punk wins, Seth has a case to continue him burning shit down because he's been talking about this shit is Roman's fault. You let this nigga back in November. You had a chance to end him. You didn't. We could have got rid of him at Royal Rumble. You did not. Then you didn't let me finish him in a cage match. And once again, you let him fucking win at WrestleMania, and I didn't even want him in the main event. So not only because of you did you give my biggest op a fucking main event, which he does not deserve, you also gave him a W. No, this shit is not over if I'm Seth. I'm fucking both of y'all up for the rest of the summer. Fuck both of y'all niggas. That's me.
That's why Seth should win. Because here's the thing. If Seth wins, again, he could ride into the sunset. He doesn't have to fuck with Roman anymore because Roman's on the other show. He doesn't have to fuck with Punk anymore because he technically got 2 wins. And I'm saying technically with quotations, okay? You can continue the storyline with Punk and Roman. And granted, we know Roman is going to take at least a month and a half, 2 months off because it's not a jab. He's probably not going to work again until fucking SummerSlam. So you can still do the CM Punk and Cena shit. You can still do CM Punk or whoever the hell in the meantime. But you still have the whole storyline with Punk and Heyman and Roman. Seth should win because he has the most to lose if he loses this match. Roman has nothing to lose. He's only lost literally he's literally lost 2 times in 5 years. He has nothing to lose. Punk has a lot to lose because he just came back, all this other bullshit, yada yada. For Seth's character, it makes more sense for him to win this match. Because you can do the whole thing where, like, he literally said when he showed up in the car, he's like, "Oh, you thought it was gonna be Roman? Well, you know what? Hey, I know I crashed out last week, but I've been formulating a plan." Like, you see how the show ended. He was laughing. Like, he could have attacked Punk. He could have stopped Punk from GTSing Roman, but no, he's being an architect. Like, he's formulating a plan. If you're trying to extend the story between Punk and Roman and have it like I don't even say make sense, but even make more sense, you have Roman and Punk lose this match because they're focused on fucking Heyman, and you have Seth just he gets a quick win, he can pin Roman so that Punk doesn't take a pin, and Roman's taking a pin to someone he actually likes, which is not Punk. We know that in real life. And that's fine. And then the story kind of like dies for a little bit. And then you can continue the Roman and Punk stuff throughout the summer until SummerSlam.
It doesn't. There's no conclusion for the Seth and CM Punk story if Seth wins the triple threat and rides off into the sunset doing something else.
The conclusion is you got your dream, but you still took an L. I didn't even want you to have your dream. You only have your dream because my former best friend / my op was just so high mighty, and he's like, "Oh, I'll do you a favor." Yeah, blah blah blah. Like, there's a reason why Seth was like, "I told you so." Like literally, Seth was laughing this whole segment. He was like, "I told you so. I told you this is what was going to happen." So now Roman's super hatred, the same hatred that he had for Seth last year, to where he took his focus off of Cody just to hit him with a chair. Now that focus can be on Punk, the person who's taking his wise man, who at last year's Hall of Fame said, "If there's no wise man, there's no tribal chief." Like, now the tribal chief he can focus all that hatred, all that angst on Punk now, and take it off of his former best friend. Him and his former best friend have a quick alliance. They can do a shield power bomb real quick, whatever the fuck happens. But if Seth wins, then he can do something else, and then you can continue the feud with Roman and Punk naturally. I mean, you can still continue that feud if Punk won, technically, yes. But it makes Seth's other story a little more complicated, because then he loses again. He's crashing out even more. Like, you can only have so many crash outs on both shows to where it makes sense, right? Seth lost twice last year, and then he was in the main event technically, and then it was just his back broken, him crying because he was the Shield. It makes more sense if Seth wins this WrestleMania, because he already had technically 2.5 losses last year. And then you can still continue Punk and Roman, and you can still continue that whole feud with Heyman, and not even involve Cena yet, and that way you keep both of them from the main title.
I am telling you, based on listening to you, that not only do I believe that your stance, and you're going to argue it and fight it and push back against it, I'm just going to tell you what I think. I think your stance is coming from personal bias, because you continue to mention how Seth has lost in these big moments. But I also believe, based on the character that I have seen from Seth, now granted, I probably haven't paid as much attention to Seth as you in the same level. I do not believe that Seth Rollins' character, for as much hatred as he has talked about having, he literally has said multiple times, I love Roman. Me and Roman can go back and forth, whatever, whenever. But this nigga here is a cancer. I hate this guy. He's gotta go. There's no way in hell that Seth can make those statements and then win a triple threat where he's not even seeing the nigga he hates the most one-on-one, because he has yet to beat this nigga. He has not beaten CM Punk.
Yes, he did. He beat him in the cage match.
Not on his own volition. You are literally robbing your.
That's not what he's argued, bro.
You are robbing your own character of his own glory.
Is it W or
W? You are not giving this nigga.
It's a WW, right?
I'm going to finish my point. while you continue to interrupt me.
God.
For Seth to be as dogged as he has been about his hatred for Punk, him winning a triple threat where he won't even get to potentially get his shit off and do most of the damage that he wants to do to CM Punk, because you're saying that is going to come down between the other two, doesn't make sense based on what Seth has said and done the last 4 months of this year. To me,
it makes
now,
if it makes sense. It makes sense if he gets. It makes sense if he gets.
He said he's closing it.
I'm gonna close.
He said he's closing it. That's all I'm.
Because y'all got your opinions out. Let me just get mine out and we can get the hell out of here.
Yes. Go ahead, please.
I hear what both of y'all are saying. And I said before, I don't know who's going to win. I didn't have an idea. I kind of formulated a little idea. Both Seth and Roman have made this is now personal for them. Punk has said, it's not personal to me. It's just business, right? Mm-hmm. He doesn't have a dog in the fight. They hate him. He doesn't really care for them. Seth's focus is on Punk. Roman's focus now going to be on Punk. Punk don't give a damn. I have a feeling that Seth and Roman are going to get into it in this goddamn match because the egos are going to collide at some point.
Okay.
And remember, originally the story is Seth Roman. That was last year's story too. Like, that's who made you fucking lose. So I don't see them jumping the gun just yet and finishing that, without a clear resolution. But we'll see. But as far as right now, I think I'm gonna lean with Punk. It may change in the next couple weeks, but as of right now, today, I'm leaning CM Punk's probably gonna get that win.
It's okay.
No, what he just said.
You don't have to have the last word.
No, I don't want the last word, but what he just said proved what I was trying to say.
Yes, you do.
Oh.
We're gonna get out of here. It's been a really solid episode. A lot of passionate wrestling talk. I love this shit so much. Thank you to everybody who's tuning in from all the streaming platforms: Spotify, Apple, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram.
If you're on Spotify, leave us a like, leave us a comment. You have to give us a comment. If you're listening to us outside of the country, you owe us a tariff. I want to see a picture of your fridge. I want to see a picture of your pets. Otherwise, you can't listen to our podcast. And you got to send it directly to Jay's house, which he's going to post in the links. And if he doesn't post in the links, you can send it to my Blue Sky. Heroic Rager at Blue Sky.
The link will be in there. Link is in the description. Send him all the cat pictures. I'm allergic. We're going to get out of here.
Send me a picture of your pets.
We will catch y'all in the next one. It's been real. Peace out.
Too sweet.
Believe in the wave. Believe in the wave. Believe in the wave.